Welcome to March Badness 2025, gentlemen. How is everybody tonight?
Doing great. Thanks for asking. What about,
ready to get it on?
I got Camaro coming twice here. What's going on?
Here I am.
What?
Get rid of that other one.
You can't have that frozen
Oh, you
guy
kept
with
you kept frozen Camaro.
Yeah.
We're off to a great start already.
Yeah, I wonder if
man.
Oh wait,
Oh, now he's gone.
there we go.
Yeah, the champ has returned.
Technical difficulties, no big deal, people.
Okay.
So let's kind of kill the music here. All right, well, welcome to March Badness 2025. My name is Bakko, and joining me in this is always fun. That corner, that's LC. Everybody's got their name up here anyway. So we're the hosts of the Cobras and Fire podcast, and this is our March Badness selection show. Back again to help us through this is Chris and Aaron from the Decibel Geek podcast. Chris, Aaron, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Man.
Before we get too far into this, Aaron, did you have you seem to really embrace the victory from last year. Did you have a speech prepared or any type of victory lap you want to take?
Well, last year was a slam dunk for me.
Yeah.
I knew immediately when I was trying to put picks together, and like a bolt of lightning, it hit me, Mitch Malloy. Like immediately, I knew it doesn't matter what the rest of these jokers pick. No. With Mitch Malloy, I cannot lose.
Yeah, go back and roll the tape. Once you made that announcement, I think everybody conceded at that point. Like it's over. So
yeah.
Yeah,
We went through the motions.
The looks on your faces when I dropped Mitch Malloy on
I was so jealous.
was freaking awesome, man. One of the best feelings I've ever had. I've been thinking about it for the last 364 days, every single day. It's what lifts me. I walk around Nashville and I tell people, hey, I want you to know, you're talking to the 2024 Cobras and Fire March Badness champion.
Yeah.
Bask in my glory.
Aaron Camaro made Mitch Malloy relevant.
He did. He really did. He brought him back into the Nashville scene.
I wonder if Mitch celebrated it. Although, would you celebrate that? I don't think you would.
I would, but I have a sense of humor.
Is that like winning a Razzie around Oscars time?
There you go. Yeah.
So.
And I feel bad because I don't remember actually who won the listener brackets. Do any of you guys by chance?
I couldn't tell you.
No.
All right.
No. But it's really important to do it.
I don't know.
Well, for anybody not familiar with the what this whole thing is, every year for a little pun there, March Badness, we do a bracket of 32 horrible albums by bands you may or may not like, and basically the four of us get together and each select our own little 8-team region. And then the winners end up meeting in the final four, with the winner being crowned the grand champion, at which time LC and I will accept the voting results and basically do an episode dedicated to that horrible record that wins the whole thing. So the whole point here is when you're voting for this, people remember you are voting for which record you think is worse, not which one you think is better. Just a quick reminder there. LC, did I miss anything as far as how the premise goes?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think that you also need to add what albums we can't.
Yeah, I'm getting to
bring
that.
into the mix.
And also before we get to that, I wanted to mention to the listeners, so there will be a bracket posted here towards the end of February, early March, basically that you can fill out ahead of time. Please, as many people as you can fill out, you have a chance to win. And we have a very special prize. We got our hands here on it, Cobras and Fire, a sealed, unopened copy of the Tommy Lee vinyl, Andro. And it comes with a receipt so that you can return it.
That's the actual prize.
Yeah. So, anyway, no joke. As much as it sounds like it. This goes to the winner of the bracket. You can do whatever you want. You can shoot a video of you blowing it up, lighting it on fire, whatever you can do for it. Or maybe you'll just sit down and enjoy some sweet beats of Tommy Lee. So that is this year's prize. I have a bonus vinyl that's going to be there, but I'm going to let the winner expose that when they get there. So
I want to also mention that was selected together. Both Bakko
Yeah.
and I, we saw it. We said
It has
immediately,
touched both of our fingers. Our
Yes.
finger. You can actually remove our DNA from this and make your own kind of like mishmashed kind of Dr. Moreau version of the two of us.
Yeah,
So,
and you immediately said that's the prize.
yep. Yep. Makes the most sense, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Would you rather have a T-shirt? Fuck no. This is way better, right? Yeah. All right. So we're getting to now. Obviously, once you win, that album is excluded from future. Basically what we're doing here today. So the previous winners were, last year we touched on this, Mitch Malloy. In 2023 it was Asylum from Kiss. In 2022 it was the Ted Nugent record. What's the name of that record? It's not Shut Up and Jam, Chris. The one with the barbecue song on it.
Oh,
exactly
Shut Up
what
and
it's called.
Jam.
Oh, that is Shut Up and Jam? What? I'm confusing it with I thought it was a more recent record was called that. And then Peter Criss, One for All, was the first time we actually got the four of us met together like that. Also eliminated from this are any records that LC and I have done episodes on, which we actually did a year of March Badness, just dedicated to, I think we did 2 or 3 records in the month of March, but we've also covered some shitty records over the time too. So that includes Def Leppard, Adrenalize, Van Halen 3, Metallica, Saint Anger, Crazy Nights by Kiss, Saints of Los Angeles by Motley Crue, and Sonic Boom and Metallica, Lou Reed, Lulu. Did I miss any, gentlemen? Or LC, do you recall if I missed any there? I went through it pretty heavy.
Yeah, we just took out, again, we didn't actually review Lulu, but we're just taking it out because nobody wants it.
No, nobody wants that.
There's no way to make it entertaining for the
No.
listener to sit through
Not
it.
at
So,
all.
yeah.
So that means Chris Czynszak is a 2-time champion, right?
Yeah, and you're a one-time champion, and LC
right.
are just a couple of losers.
That's right.
Man, we come on your show and just dominate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
You
not
guys
going-
are way better at this horrible album selection thing than we are.
Really
Oh,
are.
when it comes to bad taste, we're your guys.
I mean, there's a lot more behind you to pick from,
Yeah.
Aaron.
all kinds. Bad stuff all around in there.
Oh man! Well, I hope maybe LC has basically the Mitch Malloy of this year all queued up here. But yeah, so the pick order then is LC first. Honestly, I think you had the lowest score, but I really don't remember. I want to be a gracious guest to Chris because I don't remember how him and I tied out, so he goes second. I know Aaron won, so he goes last. That put me at third. So
Okay.
LC, Chris, Bakko, AC. That's the pick order, and then we reverse it every other round.
Nice. Yeah, so are we beginning? We starting?
Yeah, are you all set?
I'm ready, man.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, here we go.
All right,
Oh, he's
here we go.
doing it in post.
Awesome. Nice. Okay.
Wait a
So-
minute.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with just kind of talking about my strategy this year, and what that is if you pick one of my albums, people, if you vote for those, I am picking the biggest, the big, and the shittiest of those big artists. Okay, so you're gonna have not only an album that's no good, but you're gonna have a rich history filled with lots of fodder. So even if you don't agree with the album that I think sucks, my God, it's going to be a great episode. It's going to be
You
fun.
didn't really have a strategy. You just had more of a political pitch. Vote for me.
That's correct. That's right.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
All right.
But it is part of the strategy too. So
Fair enough.
I'm going to start off with one that's, it's a repeat, but since I'm going first, I'm bringing it into the mix, and that is a young man. This was the most disappointing album from a band that I was getting into, and had a lead singer from one of the biggest bands in the world, who they split up, and they both came out with albums at the same time. And you're like, which one's going to be good? And you know what? They both are pretty fucking good, even if you didn't like the new singer. And then they came out with a second album with the same lineup. And this lineup, actually 2 out of those 4 members of that band were at Past Rockin' Pods doing a panel. And that is David Lee Roth, Skyscraper. I'm bringing it. That's my first one. There's no hot dog.
choice.
I haven't ordered a hot dog and a shake since that album came out.
It ruined hot dogs and shakes for you. Wow.
That's right. It did.
All right, so David Lee Roth, Skyscraper is off the board, gentlemen.
That's right.
Well, that brings us to you, Chris. Do you want to break down your strategy at all?
My strategy was, let me just find, a handful of shit albums that I can mention on here, but mostly, my first one I had a strategy on, and I don't think this is going to win. And I actually implore you, listeners to not vote for this album because I actually think it would be abusive to Bakko and LC if they listen to it. I didn't bring back Lou Reed Metal Machine Music because it's not really a rock album. It's just a bunch of noise. So that one didn't get brought in. So, and I'll tell you another one that I was thinking about picking. It would A, be abusive, and B, not really rock, and that is Standing in the Spotlight by D.D. King, otherwise known as D.D. Ramone. It was his rap album that came out in the late 80s.
Oh, really?
I don't know this one at all.
What? Fuck it. Let's just put it in there. Standing in the Spotlight by D.D. King. I'll save the next pick so that I bring up is not going to be
He called himself
one that I hope
D.D. King, even though it's D.D. Ramone?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's wearing like a Gucci necklace, and it's terrible.
Man.
Right on, man.
Is that? I just learned something today. Did anybody else learn something? I didn't know that existed.
I absolutely learned something today. That's actually two things. I learned something earlier, but it's not for the show.
Well, when you hear it, you'll be glad you didn't know it existed before today. But yeah,
right on. Well, hopefully I don't have to then. So.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I guess that gets to me then, huh? Oh, what the hell am I talking about? I already knew what I was going to pick as long as nobody else took it. This record, man, I think I listened to it one time, and I went, I cannot fucking wait for March Badness. This was basically queued up for me, basically, since it was released, I think, last April, and that is Ace Frehley, 10,000 Volts. Sorry, Aaron.
All right.
Wow.
My default number 4 pick of the year because I got my number screwed up. Yeah.
Nice. What a fucking turd this was. And it was, you know what? It was his best work in 20 years.
Look at this guy getting angry over there.
Sorry, Aaron. I know he's your boy, but that album sucks balls.
I mean, if you want to completely waste a pick like that.
We'll see what the vote. Hey, look, if the voters agree with you, it won't make it very far. So we'll see.
I get your issues with it, but I don't think it's March Badness worthy.
Oh, it is.
There's a handful of decent songs. It's a great Steve Brown album.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Cool. Hey, now, just don't be going there, Curly.
I gotta tell you,
That
I'm looking
Steve guy
forward-
needs to kind of keep it in line.
I like 4 tracks a lot.
Boy, a lot.
Yeah. Well, I like 4 tracks.
I just can't wait.
Two of them I do like the 2 singles a lot. I think both those are good.
I want to get some acapella, like use some AI and get some of the sweet vocals to be able to play. Come on, it's a doozy.
Aaron's very ashamed of all
Look at
this
him.
right
Well,
now.
Red chip, my girlfriend's in the video. Look at her tits. Her daughter's like super hot too.
That qualifies as
I'm
father.
basically
though.
a stepdad, and I jerk off to her all the time.
This took a weird turn really
It
quickly.
really did.
Welcome
Aaron.
to Cobras and Fire.
Well, it did that last time. The old one I'm watching, it like turned homoerotic like within 5 minutes. It's like, what happened?
Our gift.
Lonely middle-aged dudes.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, go ahead, Elsie.
No, I was saying like Anyway, talk about homoerotic. I was like, listen, I cannot pass this up to hang out with these other 3 men tonight. I got to come down to my basement, talk about some shitty albums. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't give a shit. I want to hear what Aaron's going to pick first.
I'm main flooring it tonight, buddy. I for the first time probably ever in March Badness history, I'm on the main floor of the house, and my wife is home. So I've really kind of I've elevated my game here. So
What about you? Are you in the basement with those CDs, or is that the first floor for you too, Aaron?
No, this is the basement.
Oh, it is. Okay.
This is my dome.
he's got a nicer basement than I do.
Your first
so.
floor. Your first floor man over there.
This
Chris?
is where I dwell.
Oh, yeah, I don't have a basement. I'm on
Hey, we're actually kind of
one
lined
level.
up, aren't we? Front row, our first floor basement.
Yeah, basically.
I like it.
Wow, it's also real.
Joey Haney with my favorite comment so far. It's going to get 10,000 votes.
Well, let's get to our defending champ. Oh, yeah, you know what? Before I'll remind people, you'll be able to vote on the Cobras and Fire group, Cobras on Fire, and the Decibel Geek community group page. Feel free to vote both ways. Also, I haven't looked into it yet, but my plan is that if Blue Sky and Threads offer it too, even though we have almost no followers on either of those right now, but I'll throw it up there too. Work the system, people. Vote as many times as you can. Open up new accounts. I don't care. Cheat. This is one election you can push to get you want. And that's a message for you, Randy Brown. You really want that Melvin's record to make it to the finish line. You're probably going to have to put in the work because most people don't know it. But I'm going to make sure it gets on the list. So, well, unless one of you guys want it.
I'll
No, I
let you
didn't
do it,
think-
but
Okay, I
it is a
figured.
fun title to say. So yeah, I get it.
All right. Well, anyway, let's get to our champion from last year, Aaron Camaro. Congratulations. And of course, it's an honor only bestowed to one other man on the planet. So, and you're in good company. But you now what you want to do is try to be the second repeat winner. It's only been done once before.
I have a feeling he has a great one right now. He's just like, he's not even like being impatient. He's like, just keep going.
He always comes prepared. Honestly, even though the years that Chris won, I don't think anybody, the three of us combined, probably did not have the prep that Aaron had each year. So I'm not going to be let down. What do you got for us for your first pick, Aaron?
I don't know. I didn't really have too much of a strategy this time because, like, I see why, like, Super Bowl teams that win the Super Bowl have such a hard time repeating because you nail that formula.
Let's not go there, okay?
You nail that formula one year,
Yeah.
and then it's hard to duplicate.
I'll take what you've been dealing with lately, Chris. I will. Just slide it on over here to the Viking guy. Fucking.
I have no right to bitch. Trust me.
Don't worry, Bakko. You guys are going to have Aaron Rodgers next season. You
Can't
I was
wait.
just going to
Can't
say,
fucking wait.
if we are living in a simulation, that will actually happen because it just
Oh,
feels
my
like
God.
the planets are aligning for Rodgers to go to Minnesota. But anyway, there's your sports talk.
Yeah, all right.
All right, so like I said last year, wouldn't have had to pick anything else. I could have just picked the one and said this is my sole entrant, and I knew I would have won. This year, I don't have that. I don't have that slam dunk pick. But there's a lot of bad albums out there to
Over your
choose.
shoulder, I think.
Yeah, I mean, to choose from, there's plenty, and I think I'm just going to go with this because I feel like, like Bakko, you do the award-winning podcast series, Whatever, Nevermind. That's all about grunge music, and the question has come up repeatedly on there, in discussions, on podcasts, what really killed hair metal? And I've come to realize that what truly killed hair metal was an intervention by God. He saw something going on down in Texas, and he said, man, it's just not right. It's just not right. This band can't be this way. I have to change everything so that this band can become one of the all-time greats. And what he looked down in Texas and saw was Pantera in the studio making the album Metal Magic.
That's the choice?
God changed the trajectory. Yes, he could have just put Terry Blaze to heaven,
I'm going with it.
but instead he killed an entire genre of music for Pantera to rise. It's terrible, especially knowing it's Pantera. I mean, granted, they were teenagers, they were kids, they were just doing what they saw was cool, but even by those standards, it's pretty bad. It's really bad. So I think people knowing what Pantera goes on to be and looking at what they were, how bad it was, I think that'll correlate and they'll understand Pantera Metal Magic has to win March Badness 2025.
Interesting. I think this might be the first time we picked a record from a band that kind of predated any of their big success.
Yeah.
Most of these are either their debut record, like Mitch Malloy, or their, basically like midway through their career, they kind of do something weird and then it pisses people off. So this is a new. Again, you as much as you yimmed and yawed and said you didn't have, you knocked it out of the park with kind of a new process anyway.
Yeah, a lot of the bands sucked from the very beginning. Some of them sucked later on. These guys only sucked at the beginning and then got really good. But the beginning was pretty sucky.
It did have an awesome album.
Josh
cover
Toomey
though.
has some thoughts on that. He calls it a Hail Mary. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I mean, that album cover is bad even by Riot standards.
yeah.
The album cover is the best part. No, I'm just kidding.
I think so too. What is the creature on it? Is it a demon? What is it?
It's the inbred cousin of the Riot mascot.
is it? I don't have those kind of locked in. Is it that one that has that character? Or I thought that was something Jungle in the Streets or something like that.
No, Projects in the Jungle.
Projects in the
But
Jungle.
no, Metal Magic. It was like this half. I don't know, it was like a half lion man or something.
Yeah, Lion O's.
Oh yeah, I know what
But he's
you're
wearing
talking
a
about.
belt for some weird reason.
Yeah, he's wearing a belt, but he's wearing. Is he wearing underwear? I think he is.
He's got a sword.
He's got a sword.
Yeah, he does.
He's got. There's a lot going on. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like something you would draw during study hall, and then they put
That's
it as
probably where it came from.
Winnie the
Brown's
Pooh walked
notebook
around
from
with his
Study
dick
Hall.
out all the time, so it's no
That's
big
true.
deal.
That's
So.
yeah. And Donald Duck.
There you have it. Round one in the books.
Round one. Okay.
Well, that means you're up again. What's your number 2 seed here, Aaron? Hit us.
This was kind of looking at other stuff that I tried to throw out there years past that have failed. There's some I might throw back in later.
Like maybe this is the year.
Yeah, I don't think so. Maybe some of them, possibly. I'm going to go with something different. I don't think this one's been put out there yet. So in 1971, Jim Morrison from The Doors died.
Oh yes. Okay.
Oh no!
And
Go ahead.
And so the rest of the band, you got to understand, they're still pretty young dudes at this point. You know, it's not like the Doors have been around for 20 years. They haven't been around that long. They're still young dudes. They want to keep on rocking, and they try. The first album, it's called Other Voices, and at least that had songs on it that were kind of written with Jim Morrison in mind. But by the time 1972 rolls around and they come back and give it another shot, even though nobody cared about the Doors without Jim Morrison the year before and they couldn't cash in, they come back one more time. But the second album, Full Circle, is god awful. Well, I'm going to throw that one
Now-
out. Something new, something different. Try.
I swear that's been in the past though.
I hate to do that to you because Chris blew all of our minds last year because we had no idea that there was Doors records without Jim Morrison.
Okay, all right.
And so he picked that. I thought you were going to take Other Voice because I had that on my list, but I'm actually officially going to cross it off now because, well,
Okay.
it seems redundant.
Well, then I'm just stealing Chris's pick from last year because I think
I still love the pick because I haven't heard it yet.
Be glad.
not great.
No, it's not even good, actually. You'll listen to it and you'll just be like, why did they think this was a great idea?
Gotta get that money.
Yeah.
No, I don't
I
blame
said
the guys
last
for.
time.
Oh, and actually, Rick Beato did a great interview with Robbie Krieger and John Dinsmore that's on YouTube this week. So check that out.
Okay.
Nice.
It's like listening to an old married couple because like no, you got that wrong. You remembered that wrong. No, that's from the movie. You're wrong. You know, it's hilarious hearing the two of them bicker back and forth.
I like it. That's a
right.
guy that came out of nowhere like a year and a half ago, and now I see him all over the place. He's been around
Who's
for
that?
much longer than the Rick Beato guy.
Oh, Rick Beato, yeah,
Yeah, I know he's
Biggest-
got a long history in the music.
biggest music commentator on the planet right now.
I know.
Just an old white guy who hates music. So
Like the rest of us.
Yeah, today.
yeah. He'd be perfect on the show for some people.
That's true.
Probably would.
You got to give Rick his own bracket next year. By the way, that was a joke. Well, that brings it back to me, and man, I'm not even sure. There's so much that, like, I'm kind of like Aaron. There's some go-tos, and I'm like, I got to get this one. It was there close. I got to get it back, but I don't know that's going to happen. But I'm also trying to be a little more strategic with my bracket, like as I go, and I'll help you guys out if you want to try to do the same thing, where I'll mention what record your pick is going to be going up against next, so you can kind of maybe strategically put certain matchups together early on. But you know what? I'm gonna this one's for Joey Haney. Poison Hollyweird.
All right.
I was going to use that one.
A staple. a staple of March Badness.
Yes.
I think since year one.
Somebody's
I believe so. Yeah. Well, he's really like as much as Randy is about getting that Melvin's record across the finish line. This is Joey's this has got to be the year, So
Right.
There you go, Joey. It's a number 2 seed, so it's up there anyway. Now it's up to the voters. So
It's rife with comedic material to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the good thing about Hollyweird. Not only is it definitely qualified for March Badness, but it actually be pretty fun to talk about. So
Yeah.
I think that's a winner pick.
I'm trying to imagine, is the album cover have a horse just in the middle of like a street?
I thought it just said Hollyweird in a really bad attempt at recreating the Hollywood sign with the
Like
guys.
a woman on a motorcycle, right?
On a bike.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't remember the
Really?
cover.
I
You remember
just-
all the other Poison album covers like this, but not that one. What was
Okay.
that? Memorable.
It's no native tongue.
Yeah.
Oh no. Man, those abs on Brett in that cover. I'm sorry. I was, I was
that's
reading the
Brett's-
room for homoerotic.
I'll say here we go again.
That's right.
Reading the room for a homo.
Sorry.
If you guys could keep riffing a little bit, I'm trying to pull up the album cover, but I mean, we can. Oh, there it is.
You've
all
already
right.
spent more time on that album cover than Poison did.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, all right,
generic.
nice. That's a solid zing.
All right.
Anyway, well, Chris, you're up next, man. What you got here?
All right, so this is the one that I and it's funny because I'm saying don't vote on it, which means people will vote on it. It'll be like Brewster's Millions all over again. But I'm just going to pick this because
Fresh
I've never
movie reference.
yeah, exactly. It's right out of the bakery. I haven't brought. I don't think I've picked anything by this person, and he's so infamous between our
See,
two shows.
Sorry.
Oh wow,
See, she's riding a horse. It looks like it could be a horse. I wasn't that far off.
my horse is a Harley. Sunkill reference. If you
All right. Anyway, sorry to bust your flow there, Chris.
There's nothing more rude than when you put an album, Hollyweird album cover when the man's in the middle of obviously a very big cell.
Well, Hollyweird is Abbey Road compared to what I'm about to pick. So.
Here we go.
Oh wow!
I
All
haven't,
right.
I haven't done anything about this guy, but he's infamous, especially in Decibel Geek circles. But you guys have had a lot of fun with his reputation over the years, and actually all of our podcasting friends have. He doesn't like coming to Rockin' Pod, and because he wants extra security. I'm talking about the one, the only, Vinnie Vincent, and the album, if you want to call it that, is called Speedball Jam.
You're putting this in the mix.
I am. Don't vote for it though, because
is
it's literally torture for your ears.
Well, it'll be a quick episode. We can actually just do the whole thing with the music underneath us, and we can talk about whatever else. See?
Yeah, that's true. This year's
Catch up on how family's doing, and
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Vinny's talking.
If you wanted to listen to Vinnie Vincent soundcheck for an hour and a half, it's got you covered.
So it's just like one, it's not even songs. It's just one long thing, right?
Yeah, it's tapes of him warming up, playing all kinds of ridiculous scales for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I don't know if you did this, but I actually synced it up to when he was on top of the tank.
It sounds the same, yeah.
at
It's
the,
exactly what you heard when you saw him in Nashville, Aaron.
That's what I mean. Yes.
It actually syncs up perfectly with Wizard of Oz if you play it with
That's
it.
good
Yeah.
too.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
Yeah, the Blizzard of Oz.
Oh.
Pod. Anyway, well, all right, LC, we're back to you. Who do you got for your number 2 seed?
I'm gonna list a few kind of also rans, ones that I thought were contenders.
No. Make your pick. Nope.
Do it, dude.
We've never
Because
done
one
it.
of us
There's
might
no
wanna
point.
use
In...
that.
Yes, exactly. Do not throw fodder out. You only make your pick.
Yeah, quit
Good
trying to
Lord.
everybody else.
My, look at this.
The
Yeah,
fact
because
that-
it could be on our
good,
list.
Good Lord, what's going? Yes, you might be actually saying things we have on our list.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
So just
Okay.
make your
no.
fucking selection. It's not that hard. Quit complicating it. Maybe watch some more sports so you understand how this works.
I can
It's
go
like
back
mom
to the
and
tape
dad
on
are
this
fighting
one
right now.
because I said at some point that I could have given this, and this, like anything by Riot, but I've decided not to. Anything by Quiet Riot past their first album. I apologize. I apologize for not following the rules. So here's the deal.
You might need your also rans too, by the way, so hold on to them. Yeah.
All right. So here's You know, I'm trying to think something
It's
different.
only the second pick, man.
I'm thinking, hey, something different. Put another a little spin in the mix, and there's a spin in the mix. Mix and the spin. I can't even speak. Anyway, a band that, you know,
That was a weird silence.
here's a band that we haven't really talked about that much on the show, but it wasn't until a random covers album that Aaron Camaro brought to the table last year that I dove into and was like, I can't believe how many great fucking songs this band has. It also has a horrible album that I discovered. And that was when all of a sudden the band members turned against the main songwriter and they said, we've had enough of the great songs that you've written for us, and we've had enough of our success. We want to write our own stuff on the album. And it was 7 albums in for this band. And they go, and the lead songwriter says, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want to do it? You got to sing your own ass songs too. But one guy left already. So there's just 3 left. And they had an album called Mardi Gras by CCR.
Yeah, I knew it. Yeah.
Where they each had a turn at the mic at one of the worst albums from one of the, just a classic
Legendary
rock
band.
band. I
I've
don't think
never
that we
listened to
talk
this
about it.
album. Is it that bad?
It's got the song "Sweet Hitchhiker" on it, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
But
really?
The rest of it's bad. There's like
I
one
would
good
never
song
listened.
on it. Yeah, one good song.
I absolutely love this pick. This is it's very much it is historically probably the most famous horrible record with the backstory and everything with it. The part of LC's story that I don't understand is like, wow, these guys actually have a lot of good songs. And I'm like, what? Did you not grow up with television in Indiana? I mean, remember, like, basically from 78 to 82, there was like one commercial that just basically was like, buy the CCR on TV record, and it was like 40 songs that we all know now. So
You know them all, but for whatever reason, I've never owned. I've had their greatest hits at some point, but it's almost like a Steve Miller, where they're just there, they're omnipresent.
Well,
I never really got into them.
I think they
had
are a greatest hits band, in my
really?
view, anyway.
They absolutely are. And I had a similar moment because Creedence Clearwater.
I like Cleedence.
Yeah, Creedence Clearwater Revisited, which was essentially the band without Fogerty.
Right.
And they got a guy that sounded like Fogerty but looked like Michael Chiklis from The Shield. It was really odd. But but sounded just like John Fogerty. They played the Wild Horse Saloon here in Nashville. I took my mother because my mom loved all that stuff. And we were watching them, and it was one of those things where they got through the main set, and I'm like, well, shit, they've played everything. And then they came back and did like several encores, and every one of them was giant too. And I'm like, God damn, like this band they were literally a hit machine. You know, it's crazy how many hits that band had.
That's what I mean. Like Aaron, do you remember the name of that covers album I'm talking about that you featured? It was I'll have to add it in there, but it's really
CCR
good.
Tribute?
Huh?
CCR tribute?
Yeah, it was last year. There's just a bunch of random like stoner bands and like they really rock it up. And
I
there's
don't remember the name of it.
it's anyway. So it was just one of those things. I'm like, God
I
damn,
guarantee it was on Deadline Records.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
maybe.
actually.
No, it was something different.
No, it was Ripple Music. This one kind of.
He literally
That
looked
guy.
just like that guy. Yeah.
Now, anytime that I go off the rules, you should put him up as the ref. I love it.
Bring it on. That's fine.
But okay, so I got to go again, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So and then
Number 3.
another one. Yes. So this
Third
is my
seed in the LC bracket.
yes.
Third
So
seed
this
in the
is
LC
my-
region is
Can you hear stuff in the background?
I heard
Little bit.
something little.
Yes, my daughter. She's like, are you doing a live presentation to 5 people? I'm gonna go scream in the background right now for you. So anyway,
we were as high as 10 at one point. You got to go. You really take her out for that. You know, so
You should yell through the door.
Anyway.
You've lost us
It-
5 people.
it's absolutely good. Your daughter's amazing.
yeah. So
it just
anyway,
adds to the fun.
yeah. So here's the thing: is let me say this. Once again, I told you I'm not spending time with you. I'm doing something much more important.
Yeah.
Go cry in the corner. I'm talking about that album.
Speedball Jam Mama.
That's
She's
right.
outside the door going, I can't believe that idiot picked the Ace Frehley album.
Yes. Oh no.
It's like
That's
Cherry
why she's
Medicine's a
crying.
great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry Medicine. I own that car.
Okay, here's another massive band. Let's call it in the top, I don't know, 4 bands of all time. And, you know, they've got great albums, but they also have one big stinker that I have gone back over and over again, and I find that it has one good song. I'm not even saying great. 7 tracks total on it. A ridiculous album cover, which I think looks like a picture of you being dragged to lunch after going to church and stuff, just hanging out. The album sucks, and that is Led Zeppelin Presence.
Really?
Nobody's
Sorry.
Fault But Mine is great. The rest of it, I can't get into it. Long ass fucking songs.
I don't know if it's March Badness worthy though.
Oh, I think it's bad.
Okay.
I like
What
the pick.
Yeah, what other songs besides those did you ever?
Hot Dog.
You don't even hear any of that shit on the radio.
Is hot dog on that or Coda?
It
I'll
wouldn't
take
be
Coda
hot dog. for sure.
all day. I'll listen to 3 different alt versions of Moby Dick.
Wait a minute. There's a
Bro.
trend here. Zeppelin, hot dog, Roth, hot dog, and what's the deal with hot dogs here? Bad
Right.
albums have songs about hot dogs.
Back to the
That album
homoerotic
doesn't have-
shit.
Oh, just
Yeah,
the band in
there you go
general.
again.
The band in general has a hot dog
Chocolate
song.
starfish and the hot dog flavored water.
God damn!
Oh, shit.
How dare you? That's a classic.
It is a classic. I bought it on release day.
So did I.
I'll admit to that.
Our credibility's gone.
Yeah, our viewership shot up to 9, and then the hot dog stuff came down to 8, so we lost a couple people. But
Okay.
So is it my turn now?
yeah, all right. What you got here, Chris?
Okay, so I did want to make. I don't want to lean because that's the thing. The hard about this is every year is trying to come up with new choices because there's so many great, horrible
Right.
ones that haven't.
Oh, there's a
won.
lot of really heavy hitters left.
So I've pulled. My list is partially pulled from past picks, of course, but I always try to mix it up. And I found an album that was released in the last year that I think is so bad, not so much because it's executed badly, but because of who the band is and what you would actually hope for from them, and then you end up getting something completely different from what you were hoping for. And it's the last band from this band, supposedly. I'm talking about an album called 10, not by Pearl Jam, but by Mr. Big that came out last year. Hit the
Haven't
music,
heard it.
Bakko.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say I got to be a little better on this.
But this album, I was excited for this. Like I was like, man, yeah, Paul Gilbert's gonna shred all over this thing. It's like they listen to Beck Bogert and a piece and old school '60s garagey rock, and like let's do that. And it's just like Mr. Big fans are probably like, I don't like this. So if that's their last album, that's a crappy way to go out.
But they followed a long tradition of recent bands from that era naming their records cleverly, like their 10th record 10. I think Extreme had 6 or 7, and Winger had which one? One of them had 6, the other one had 7. So
Yeah, Winger.
so anyway,
But yeah, but it's. Have you guys listened to that record in the past year?
I haven't listened to a Mr. Big record in my entire life.
Wow.
Oh,
I've heard songs, but
it's not good. And I love the
that's what I thought when I heard all their songs.
No, well, we differ on that, but like lean into it, and some of those records I like a lot, but like it, and that's you would expect some of the flashy guitar, and there's good playing on it, but don't get me wrong, but it's just so '60s garagey sounding, and it's just not what you would hope for from this. It's like Poison doing a grunge album.
I could go back to one of my jokes from one of the earlier times we did this, where it's like, can I just say Mr. Big discography? So
Yes.
We'll have to agree to disagree on those.
yeah, it's all good. Yeah, not the first time, Chris. Oh shit, that brings it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going with the listener pick that for another one here. Maybe that's my theme. I'm going to lean heavily on the listeners, people who commented in the Cobras on Fire group. This is a band that I actually bought their CD my freshman year of college. My roommate and I lived about 2 blocks from a record store called Broadway Records in Rochester, and I would frequently go up there and just kind of comb through shit because, well, that's what you do when you're into music. And this record was always there, always there. It had a weird case, and it had a guitar player that had guitar necks that went like this, and it was like, how the hell does he play that stuff? And of course, I'm talking about the album Out Fucking Rageous from Nitro. This one's for you, Rich Love.
Okay.
That album is so gloriously over the top. I love it.
But it's
for what
really
it is.
bad. I would
It's
say the
bad.
same thing about Vinnie Vincent's first record, but I think it's a really good record. This
I
is
do-
like
but-
just horrible.
I like the Nitro album's a fun listen though. It's not a painful listen.
Is it?
to me. At least to me, it's not. I mean, I don't hate it.
OFR
OFR.
is the official title because you can't. Back then, you couldn't put "fuck" on your album title. Like you couldn't print it.
Michelangelo Badio.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a good guitar player, but he,
yeah,
and Jim Gillette, Mr. Lita Ford.
Yeah. Can break glass.
I just love the fact that guy's name is Jim Gillette.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my pick. Out fucking Rageous. Rich, we'll see how it does. It's at least in the tournament, man.
Nitro.
He's
Okay.
actually hoping for it to come in number one on the
It's a
hard
good
180.
Because it's a polarizing. Oh, the hard one. Get out of here.
Yeah. Well, what do we do? Like, it gets.
No, it
We
would not
both.
make my top 100, but it's not going to make March.
There's
Madness.
only 2 left. It's got to be one of the 2.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, it's gonna be Nitro 2, and then Out Fucking Rageous, I think.
Yeah.
So anyway,
God, how many people would you piss off if that was the true case?
Amazing.
I hadn't even thought about that. I should have timed it so that the last episode came out on April 1st.
Yes,
And then it's
that would've
fucking
been great.
Nitro. That would have been and then actually get Jim Gillette on to talk about what a piece of shit that record is. So.
Bring on Lita Ford for a surprise walk on.
Real-
Look who's here.
Look at Aaron. He is thinking deep.
Oh, Rich is here. Hey, look
Oh,
at that.
nice. What's up, Rich?
Excited for the Nitro.
Who's not?
Got a hell of a lot better chance than Ace Frehley.
All right. Well, I really pissed off Aaron. 2 years in a row, I pissed off Aaron with an Ace Frehley pick. So.
Oh, I see. Is it the I get the best
All right,
a
so
man
this
can
means
get?
Aaron has to nominate a Jesus Chrysler album. Next.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
Hey,
If he really wants to come back hard.
We at least have to stick to records people have heard. So. All right, LC, you got 2 in a row here. Who you have for your number 3 in your region?
Camaro. I see Camaro up.
Oh, CC, LC, I get it all mixed up. Camaro, you have 2 in a row. Sorry. Thank you, LC.
that's what I was trying to think. It's like, oh shit, I got 2 in a row. Peter Criss 78 solo album still out there?
Mm-hmm.
I take it. I'll take it. Peter Criss,
That's it.
wow.
That was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah.
It's the kind of sugar Papa likes.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be fun to talk about, right?
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
Chris has been the picker that's won the tournament twice, but no artist has won the tournament twice.
Yeah.
So maybe
That'd
Peter
be
Criss
funny
could
if-
go.
The
Yeah.
2-time champion, Peter Criss.
Can I just tell you real quick, Aaron, that when usually somebody does make the best of the solo albums into one great album or whatever.
Yeah.
When we did ours, I just listened off the tracks and Bakko just got nope. So we didn't use those rules. So I would say that it definitely is a contender.
Yeah. It's bad.
I actually like the record a lot, but no, it definitely belongs in this tournament. But those are 2 different things.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of records that I like that are pretty awful to a lot of people that I think are fair game here.
I like Peter Criss's album to play in the background while I'm cleaning the house. That's about all it's good for.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the
Good
kind of
background
sugar
music.
Papa likes.
You gotta
Background
be in a mood for that kind of stuff. It's like, man, some of that stuff.
You can say that about Slayer, though.
If it wouldn't have been released as Kiss solo album, some of that stuff might have been hits as yacht rock songs. Like if Peter Criss said, "Hey, Chris Christopherson, I wrote you some songs," they probably, some of them could have been hits.
I still love the alternate history episode we did where Aaron had Peter's career path taking him off to doing tours with Christopher Cross and stuff. So Peter Criss and Christopher Cross, you got the Criss Cross tour.
Oh man, you're right.
The weird thing is that record was, even as a 7-year-old Kiss fan, when I first heard that, I was like, this is exactly what I think Peter Criss would do if he could do a solo album.
Really?
So yeah, I I was not one of those guys. What the fuck is this? I'm like, well, look at all this shit. I mean, this is the Beth guy.
I was like, where's Peter
All the
Criss's
rock-
Moby Dick?
Well, I mean,
Yeah, but-
Hook
that's a
on
good
rock
point.
and roll sounds pretty hard edge compared to Beth.
Yeah.
Well, but the whole thing has got a softer edge. There's really no distortion into the guitars, and
It's AM Gold.
in all the hard rock stuff Peter was involved in,
bronze, I should say.
he didn't write. So
Rich says he tries to use the phrase, that's the kind of sugar Papa likes daily.
Actually, I'm going to start doing that.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, I'm sure your wife would love that.
Might. You never know.
Or say it to clients at work.
No, somebody just says thank you, as you say that back to him.
that's kind of sugar Papa likes. You know what? That's awesome. Actually, next time I'm eating, it's like, how is everything? It's kind of sugar Papa likes. Rich bringing the gold. All right. You got another one?
Okay. This is another one I know that's been picked in years past. As a matter of fact, I think I picked this one last year, and I liked its chances. But I think, when you're in the same bracket as Mitch Malloy, but I think this year might be the year. Let's stay Kiss-centric in this thing. I'm going to offer Gene Simmons' Asshole to the people.
Oh,
To vote on.
Terribly phrased.
yes.
And
I
then
was watching an old.
Gene Simmons' Asshole.
I was watching one of the older discussions we had about this album, and then we're trying to figure out what's going to go up against it, and we're trying to pick out Five Finger Death Punch, Finger 11, Five Finger Death Punch up against Gene Simmons' Asshole. It's
That's right. That's right.
We really got problems, guys.
Yeah.
Good.
See, I was reading the room correctly.
As usual.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that brings it to me.
I do like the title track on that Gene Simmons album, though.
How does it feel to be a real?
I like that song.
I like Black Tongue.
Done originally
Put that
by a
in
band called
Gene's-
Shirley's Temple.
I'm glad he put Black Tongue on Gene
Black
Simmons'
Tongue's good.
Asshole.
I like a few songs on there. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I like Weapons of Mass Destruction. I think that's a good song.
but if you're Gene Simmons gonna do an album called Asshole, why go the whole way and call it Weapons of Ass Destruction?
Ooh, yeah.
I like
it gets
that.
better just from that title change.
I like a
Yeah,
pun.
it does. Yeah. Man.
Pun is nup spelled backwards, and a nup is a nup.
Say that again.
Pun is nup spelled backwards, and a nup is a nup.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a few minutes on that one.
Yeah. I'm going to add that.
You're not the
list.
only one.
You reacted as enthusiastically as my family did.
They were like, oh, you're brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I never hear that.
We're just like, huh? I don't get it.
It's the way Homer. You got to get it on the way home.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Can we?
I don't know.
add
For some
crickets?
reason, I'm just thinking about LC being at the Oscars, and before he announces the 5 nominees and then the winner, he's like, "But I also like to mention 7 movies that were thought about for the category."
Yeah. Why
Other
not?
ones I think that could have
It was because you said read the room again. That's what put my mind back
I
there.
love that.
All right. Sorry, buddy. All right. So number 4, I'm taking from a longtime listener and one-time guest of the program, Eddie Trunk. So Eddie Trunk gave us a suggestion, probably not directly, but more indirectly, and that is Subhuman Race from Skid Row.
Wow.
Ooh. Somebody agrees with me that they don't like this record. Everybody I know loves this record. I've never liked it.
Makes me want to beat myself.
Oh, and on that
blind.
note, I should remind the listeners that the music from The Elder is off the list, too. We've done that on the show.
Oh yes, that's true. Yes. All right.
Because, a lot of people like it, Chris. Anyway, yeah. I don't even know if I've listened to this seriously in 20 years. So it's in the rack behind me somewhere here. I'll dig it out if the listeners think it's worthy, but I think it's definitely it's a record that's never made the tournament. So that was the other thing that was appealing to me.
I like it. I think it's a good pick. I think the letdown from Slave to the Grind too is notable too.
It's a huge step down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However you.
But it was
slice
also such a long wait.
Oh
But,
yeah. Everything had changed. What was
Here
that?
comes
4
Haney.
years?
yeah,
Of
something
course
like
you
well,
do.
Most people do. I just don't.
94,
Welcome.
95, something like that.
I mean, I wish it would have been produced by Michael Wagner, but otherwise, I still like it.
Not enough hooks on it.
No, it's all right. It's a couple songs on it, but
I like a couple songs, but it doesn't wow me like so many people say now that they like. I get that type of praise for the Motley '94 record, but for the Subhuman Race, I don't get it.
I actually like they put out that one greatest hits called 10 seasons or something like that, or I'm sorry, 40 seasons. Sorry, 40 seasons, and they had 2 remixes by Michael Wagner, and I like both versions of that. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever heard any of those, but they're
so it's the mix.
Yes,
I don't
all
know
the songs are perfect.
I didn't think the material was that
it's
great.
just the mix.
I know it's not really kind of our thing on the show, but there's a replacements record called Tim that they recently had remixed. I always hated it. It sounded like fucking ass, but I just never liked it. And it was recently remixed by the guy that they supposedly wanted to do at the time, named Ed Stasium. We talked about it on the show. But anyway, now it's like one of my favorite replacement records. I'm like, well, sometimes it really just can be how poorly it is produced. I think it was produced by an ex-Ramones producer, Sinzak.
Really?
The initial
Which one?
record. Tim.
Which producer?
You know what? You guys carry on. I'm going to dig into that
Was
fact
it Ed
and come back.
Stasium? Because he was a Ramones producer.
No. Oh, maybe I got it backwards. Stasium was the guy they wanted, and they got somebody else.
Oh, okay.
Stasium's the guy that did the remix that sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, he's always great on the stuff he can do, but his hands were tied a lot with the Ramones.
Speaking of that, Chris,
Oh, it's
who
me.
is the 4th seed in the Sinzak bracket?
I've been wanting to bring this one up because Aaron and I had a lot of fun doing the Best and Worst of Aerosmith not long ago, and boy, getting into the last part of their album releases was very difficult. And although it did make
That
me
was a fun series, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
It was,
It did make me appreciate Honkin' on Bobo more, so I'm not going to pick that. But because that's actually a pretty fun record. But I'm going to go with Music from Another Dimension, like because they got back together with Jack Douglas, and everyone was excited.
I forgot
Because everybody's like, "Oh shit, it's going to be Rocks Part 2." Everybody was so stoked about it, and then it came out, and it's like, what was it? 4 ballads on this one, and I like ballads, but I'm like, you need 4 of them. And a lot of songs with no real great hook on them. You know, it sounded like a very fragmented band that threw a bunch of shit together and put an album out, and that's what it was. But yeah, Music from Another Dimension, that music can stay in that other dimension because it's terrible in this one. Just Push Play actually has a few good redeemable songs. Music from Another Dimension, I didn't really like. I Love Her a Lot is really the only song that I liked a lot on that album.
Yeah, 9 Lives I put higher than that, but yeah, that last album by them is just awful, man.
Oh, it's Sorry, by the way.
Oh yeah, where's my music?
Oh, you're playing them off now?
And I want to thank Grandma and Grandpa. Oh, okay, this way. Okay.
See ya. Yeah, man. You guys have made it the point over and over again. Like, please, could you just do at least a single or something like that to end your career, right? Because that is the last recorded music. Am I right?
Yeah.
That they ever did?
I don't think they'll do anything else.
Yeah, probably not.
All my favorite bands that I love so much of their stuff, there's a handful out there. It's like, don't let that be your last album. And I'd have to put Aerosmith as being like number 1 on that list. Like, that album is that bad. I think it's worse than Hollyweird.
I think it's
damn bad.
Yeah, I think it's come up every year. If not, it's
Definitely been on before, but yeah.
Definitely been mentioned at least one other time in the show.
It should.
I'm going to say it's at least twice, but God.
Well, there's a lot of heavy hitters we've even talked on today that could possibly come as a low seed and sweep the fucking thing.
Yeah. It just depends on what people want to hear you guys talk about. That's what it really is.
I mean, last year Return of Bruno made it, I think, to the Final Four.
I thought it was going to win. I really did.
I still knew Mitch Malloy was going to get. It might have made it to the final 2, wasn't it? Mitch against.
I think it was. So. That was the last.
I think it made it there, and I was going to start watching the documentary and prepping and everything like that. And then, then Mitch Malloy.
You should do if there's the demand for it, like you should do a Patreon just to review the albums that didn't win that you want to talk about. Just because there's several that I would still love to hear you guys.
So many money making ideas.
I love
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
How much will you pay for Return of Bruno review?
Yeah, I was like, you might make more than Bruce did off of it.
So yeah, let's catch up on a couple comments here because I've been posting, but we haven't talked about a lot of them. But Wally Norton says he agrees. Aaron, Holly Weird is actually way better than that Aerosmith turd.
It's definitely shorter.
Oh, there's. I didn't mean to.
You just
Hello,
came
Aaron.
on what? Oh,
Yeah, back to the homo stuff.
Only
Wait,
Van Halen
wait
got
a
it
second.
right.
There's
Halen-
nothing homosexual about. I'm just gonna stop. Only Van Halen got it right. This has got to be Joey talking about the last record. You know what? Yeah, I suppose. I like
sure.
that record.
Me
Rush
too.
got it right.
Why not?
Yeah, Rush got it right.
Yeah.
I
You
think
like
this got it
13, I'm
right,
not a
but everyone
13
else
fan.
hates that album. But
I love 13, man. I think it's great. It's
I don't like
actually
13.
13 is fucking better than A Different Kind of Truth. But I like them both. I like them both.
I
Yeah,
don't
come on.
like Different Kind of Truth, but that sounds like
I
a
like 13 also.
13 would have been
standard
good
kind of lie.
if you have a song that's 8 minutes long and you actually have changes in it over those 8 minutes. It's
Oh,
great.
Wow.
But when you just
man.
play the same fucking plotting riff over and over.
Well,
for
maybe
8
you just don't
minutes,
like Black
it's kinda
Sabbath
fun.
then. Yeah, maybe it's
Oh, okay.
They're not one of my
Okay.
top 5. I like them, but they're not one of my top
Every
5.
great Black Sabbath song has that part where you're like, holy shit, I did not hear that coming the first
No,
time.
I
I heard it.
love the early stuff. It just that album had potential. It just didn't deliver on it to me.
That's correct.
not my favorite, but it's a good record.
I love the production on it. I do think it's produced
You
great.
do? Well, I think that's one of the worst things.
Oh, it's a huge sounding record.
This
not
is
sure if
gonna.
you heard-
The drumming is my favorite part.
That's Tommy Clitoris, as Ian Wadley likes
No,
to
no,
call him.
it's actually the Brad Delp.
Oh, Brad Wilk.
That,
from,
that was Brad Wilk. Yeah, Brad Delp was the singer who.
Brad Delp was underground. Yeah.
Yeah, who filmed his stepdaughter changing clothes. So
What?
sorry about that.
What is going on? You with
I
facts.
thought this was common knowledge, man. That's,
No, I
the
don't know
guy
anything
committed
about this.
suicide by lighting a charcoal grill in a.
Well, I knew that, but he was filming his stepdaughter.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
it turns out that a couple days before that happened, his wife found out that he'd been filming his stepdaughter. So
Oh, wow. No,
No,
I didn't
I-
know that at all. That's creepy.
took a dark turn
Thanks
here.
for
All
fucking
right.
up Boston for us for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, man.
It was something weird, but
More than a feeling.
I guess so.
Clearly.
She's like, I had a feeling, but now I have more than a feeling. So I have proof.
it's not a
She's
good
going to
one.
hitch a ride.
Oh God, let's see that.
Any other Boston references we can throw in there?
Don't look back, girl.
Don't look back.
For the
I
win.
do believe her name was. Oh God, Carrie Ann. That's a little too deep.
What?
Amanda. Her name was Amanda. What
okay.
then?
I was like, Carrie Ann, isn't that the name of the girl from Poltergeist?
No, he has a name.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann. Okay.
All right, let's move on, guys.
Yes, please. Let's go.
LC, you finally have your back-to-back picks that I mistakenly promised earlier.
All right. Here we go.
Number 4.
Okay. I'm going to go with this too because it's a lot of fun to talk about all the fodder. And that is that again, just a huge. And yes, it's a repeat because I'm telling you, one of these years, it has to go to the finish line. And that is a band that we have never done a full episode on this band before on the show. So why not? Tons of history there. And that is Top of the World Eliminator, Bottom of the Barrel with your pick from years ago, Afterburner. An album you can always find 5 copies at least for $8 at any vinyl store. In fact, vinyl stores now have a sign on the door that just says no Afterburner. You're trying to sell it.
Or the other stores that lean into it and have an afterburner section.
Yes, they might have that too.
Yeah.
It's like a guitar store that says "No Stairway to Heaven."
Yes, that's correct. Just no Afterburner.
Yeah, I wanted. I thought it was funny that like when we posted up like for the listeners to like what records do you want to like kind of throw at us, and like I'm like, why is LC recommending records? I'm like, I was worried. I'm like, does he know he's on the show?
I got a lot to say.
That's good for you, man. I appreciate
He's just
it.
looking for an amen in the congregation.
Oh yeah,
God. It's like every single Afterburner, every single thing they try to do right. Even if you don't like Eliminator, you have to say it's a copy of a copy of a copy. It's not an Afterburner.
But Sleeping Bag's my jam.
Oh,
I do
fuck
like that song.
The only thing I liked about that was when I saw, I think Nancy
What was the ballad on
Kerrigan,
there?
or what was that movie where they had? Who's the girl that hit everybody with a bat? With the
Friday the 13th?
No.
Harley Quinn.
What was it? Nancy Kerrigan's a good one, right? Who's the bitch?
Tanya Harding.
Tanya Harding.
Oh,
That movie.
Gotcha.
Tanya's skating to Sleeping Bag.
Oh yeah,
It's
she
like,
did
God, this
skate
song
the sleeping
sucks.
bag. I forgot about that.
What
Like the
is
ultimate white
the
trash figure skater.
what is the ballad on there? What has become?
Rough Boy.
Rough Boy, yeah. There you go.
Oh, look at Joey calling out LC.
Yeah.
I've heard Mescalero, and I think there's a couple good songs on that one.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Afterburner? No.
2 or 3 good songs.
All right. So let's.
Oh, well, hold on here. Let me at least let you know what's going on here. So now you're actually picking who's going to go up against Afterburner. Does that affect your pick at all?
Oh, that's the weird part about this is I actually have. You actually pick. Okay, got it.
We
Got
should
it.
spin it around, but we talk about that every year.
Man, that's okay. So in this one, I kind of don't pick this one. You're playing me off. God damn it.
Because the idea is it's kind of got to be this way so that it always comes down to 2 different people in the finals, right?
We all 4 get one in the final is the whole point.
Yeah.
But this is also about the matchups. Like you should know who, because your 5th seed is going to play your number 4 seed, and so I'm just trying to help out that everybody knows. You know,
I'm glad
'cause
you do that.
I'm writing it down here. I'm like, yeah, you know.
I guess
All right.
it doesn't matter unless you're going to set yourself up to be like, well, I want
Even if we were overlapping each other, you would still do the same thing. You know, who do I want to go against that fucking record?
right. It'd be different though if you were strategizing against somebody else, but now you got to strategize against yourself.
And to fill time here while Elsie's looking there, so Chris, you got Aerosmith, Music from Another Dimension as your 4, so you're going to be picking who goes against that. I have Skid Row, Subhuman Race, and you have the Peter Criss solo album, Aaron. So,
Okay.
Man, all right. Well, last year, I picked an album from this band and was booed by all 3 of you. All 3 were like, I cannot accept you saying that this album this is not worthy. It's like me bringing up presents. You bring up these things that are like these sacred cows. Fuck cows. Okay? That's what I have to
Yeah,
say.
baby.
I'm making a
Fuck
stand.
cows.
Fuck cows.
Let's
Be
go
it
fuck some
sacred or
cows, guys.
otherwise. Spotted cows from
Like-
Wisconsin. That kind of shit. By the way, Spotted Cow, that beer, every single time I'm in town,
awesome
gotta
beer.
get some Spotted Cow. That beer sucks. It's
Ah, it's
terrible.
It's okay.
Exactly.
It's all right.
So, all right. So anyway, we're not talking about beer. We're talking about
Gene Vogel just tapped out.
Oh, okay. Is this what you're gonna do? Anytime I'm talking, you're gonna let me know who's left the room.
No, it was the Spotted Cow comment.
Oh, okay, he's out.
That was a local beer joke.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so this year I am not going to talk about that specific album, but it is one of the big bands out there. This album, however, is, in my opinion, of their discography, the worst. And that is, they came out, and we're talking about songs like the working title for one of them was Hail Hitler, but they already had a song called The Führer on it, so they changed it to Hail Caesar. They have a song that's a very high concept song, sung from the perspective of somebody talking to a sea otter called Cover You With Oil, inspired by the Exxon Valdez tragedy. And that is the album Ball Breaker by AC/DC. By far, Brian Johnson's worst vocal performance in their entire discography.
That's full on Donald Duck in
Shit.
there.
Yes. Horrible album. The only 2 good songs on it, it's a shit sandwich because the opening track and the last track are okay. The rest of it, turd. That's all I have to say.
Didn't you talk about a different? EC album
Yes.
last year with the same.
No, I was much angry about that one because that is the biggest letdown, and that is
Which one are you talking about?
for those about to rock when you guys
Oh,
all booed me. See, there you go again. How dare you? Because it has one good song in it. Let's get it up.
It has more than
Let's
one
get
good
it
song.
up.
Get the fuck out of here. I don't know. But Ball Breaker.
Can of the devil.
Ball Breaker does suck compared to a lot of their other ones.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's
I-
not a bad pick.
And another, it's Rick Rubin's Swing and a Miss too.
I got to work.
Get this
Really?
guy.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I got
it's
to
Rick
work
Rubin's
at
production.
I got to work one of their shows on that tour when they came to my college. So that was my lasting memory of Ball Breaker. Although I didn't listen to the album much, I'll admit that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not. For those about to rock, I'll give you shit for picking that Ball Breaker. I see why you picked it.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
not bad.
All right, CC, who you got going up against Aerosmith? Music from Another Dimension.
So let's do a more modern album by another classic band, so we can have kind of an even match here. I don't know if this one. I think this one's come up in somebody else's pick in the past, but it's never won. And I do think it's one that's March Badness worthy as far as the winner goes. I'm gonna pick Nostradamus by Judas Priest because it's never won, but like it's such a horrifically bad record. I mean, it's the whole reason KK doesn't even have a job anymore, is because he loved that record and he still talked glowingly about it. And it's like, well, you've clearly lost your mind, so why would we let you back in the band if you like that record? So Nostradamus, terrible record. I love Judas Priest, one of my favorite bands ever, but no.
And I believe this has been on every bracket so far.
It has to be. And it's like, why don't we make this the year it wins so I can be a 3-time champion?
You know, when you made that pick, this is one of the first ones that I kind of had on my cursory list. I just realized something that, like, you know, every year, especially early on, like we've been doing this so long that we're no longer like, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mitch Malloy might be the last gotcha.
It's hard to come up with new ones.
No, this is one that actually, you know, probably should have already won it, but you know, we'll have to do this for about 32 years to really knock off all the dinosaurs. But anyway,
Can't wait to do this in my 90s. That's gonna be
he's so old. What an old guy.
The 30th anniversary of March Badness. Man, I tell you what though, is that right about the KK? That's one of the things that got him
He
in
loves
trouble?
the record. He talks
He loves the
glowingly
record?
about it to this day. Still talks highly about it. And it's
I gotta
like,
tell you, that's got to be pretty ironic for him that him talking about Nostradamus, he didn't predict that would get him kicked out of the band.
yeah, exactly. Well, we know who isn't Nostradamus.
You got some love for your "Cover You in Oil" song from Rich Love.
That is a bad one.
Okay. Good pick. It'll take us only 3 hours to get through that album. Thanks.
What did I
I mean,
do
what
here?
is that? It's a double with what, 25 tracks, something like that.
What album? Oh, the Nostradamus? I don't know.
Oh, we're back to yeah. No, it's God, man. I own it,
long.
and I put it on every 2 years or so, like as Chris would say, while I'm doing dishes. Man, I haven't found one thing that hooked me, not once.
It's one of those albums where it's like if it was a band that wasn't Judas Priest, it might be kind of interesting.
I don't know.
But with
I
it
think
being
it's only
Judas
interesting
Priest,
because
it's
it
like,
is Judas Priest.
Yeah, but we don't want Priest fans don't really want that. But I don't know, it's just not a good record. And I'd like that's one of and I didn't put Cheap Trick the Doctor on my list this time, but that's the one that Bakko always makes fun of me. Like, you go back and listen to that again every year just so you can try to get into it. And
No. You got again. I think you did this last year too. That is my co-host who's like, who made that joke about.
Oh,
like,
it was
you
him.
go,
Okay, well, either
I
way, but-
routinely go
this year
back
it's
to
gonna be
records
good.
and go, this is the I do it all the time. So
because there's a lot of bands where I can make the change over
Yes,
time.
yes,
your
it's happened to
taste
me.
absolutely changes, but like that's one album that it's bad every time I try to go back to it.
did I really give Operation Mindcrime 2 a proper ear? So
Exactly.
Yeah.
You probably did.
I mean, for the last 2 years, Ted Nugent shut up and jammed us and left my CD player.
I still love my barbecue.
Exactly.
Mm,
You
exactly.
listen to it after a while, you're like, maybe this isn't as bad. You're like,
Still
this
read
isn't
it.
just-
You know, maybe LC, that should be a follow-up episode of ours. Like, which of the March Badness records have we listened to the most since we've done the review? But
what is the cover that Peter Criss does in that one? Send in the Clowns?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Well, here we are.
Hasn't
Not
left my
on the-
fucking barbecue playlist.
Sending the clowns to the barbecue.
Yes.
All right, boys. Well, for me, I got Skid Row Subhuman Race going up against that. This is for you, Randy Brown, Melvin's Pinkest Abortion Technician. So, hold on.
I saw that opening on LinkedIn.
Oh, that's a nice joke.
Yeah, that is a good one. That bit
I
was
still haven't
painful.
even listened to this yet. As much as he like this guy really
Mission accomplished.
pushes.
You think that's going to win?
No, that's I'm sorry. That's been sitting there from a little bit.
Oh,
Sorry.
Okay. We're not in real time here. I got you.
No, that's my fault. I keep forgetting to pull the fucking thing down. Anyway, there you go. I don't really have much to say about it because I don't know the record that well.
Yeah.
So,
I think the Melvins album that nobody's ever heard before has got a way better chance of winning this thing than Ace Frehley.
Oh, absolutely.
Brief
Ace is
parenting,
not going to
we'll be
win
right
this
back.
thing. There's no chance.
I bet you Ace. Oh, yeah, fair enough. Pie to the face bet, Aaron. Ace Frehley goes further than Melvin's.
Just because he's more well known.
Yeah,
What? No, he made his comment.
no, I didn't. We'll see. We'll see.
Also,
But yeah,
that's
Chris is right. People are going to vote for Ace because they actually heard of him.
yeah, and they've heard the record too. So.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, pie to the face.
I don't think.
One album does have a song called Constantly Cute and one does not. That song might be the lowest point of Ace's career, that one song. And like, did he not learn after the last girlfriend to not write songs about the current girlfriend because it never ends well?
I'm not saying it's a
Name one lesson in life that Ace Frehley has learned.
that's true. He hasn't
Yeah.
he has no regrets, so he hasn't learned any lesson.
no regrets.
No regrets, Carly.
All right. Well, what do we got going up against Gene Simmons' asshole?
So I got.
Put that audio on loop.
So do I got 2 in a row now and then one last pick? Is that all?
Yeah, but only one of them goes up against Gene's asshole.
Okay, so who's got the final pick in this whole thing?
How does that work out? I think LC does. Yeah.
Will I have a final pick before you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then I got an idea, but I kind of want to.
Oh, now I'm intrigued.
So now I gotta pick something else.
And you still got, this is 4 out of 8, so, or 5 out of 8.
A lot of bad albums. I think I'm gonna go with. What the hell? I might have a shot at this because it would allow you guys to break the record for using one of your favorite like show sound bites in one episode.
Your laugh.
No, the second most popular one.
Okay.
I'm going with Deep Purple, Bananas.
This is another one that was actually on my list.
I don't think
So
I've
Deep
heard that record.
Purple Bananas goes up against and into Gene Simmons' asshole.
Gene Simmons' asshole versus Bananas.
Bananas.
Oh,
When
sorry.
did Bananas come out? I don't even know when that.
Fairly, it's a newer one, yeah. But
Really?
isn't the album cover kind of like a phallic symbol, Aaron?
Oh, it's like a couple of dudes sitting in a truck full of bananas.
No, you're thinking of Perpendicular. That was pretty phallic looking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, okay, that where it is. Yeah, so.
I might have had a banana on it too. I don't know.
No, that had a microphone, but it looked like a dick.
Yes. I would say Deep Purple has some of the worst album covers. for a
They
big
do have
band.
pretty bad ones.
And that's the worst of them all.
Oh,
is
I agree.
Bananas. Yeah,
As
it's
far as the album cover?
and it matches the album, which is also bananas.
You know, Brittany Ferlin agrees.
And there's like a
That's what
random.
I'm talking about. You guys be able to use that clip over and over again throughout the whole episode. When Bananas by Deep Purple walks the entire tournament, makes me a 2-time champion.
I like we're getting some comments about Ace's low points, and they're all exactly what I'm talking about with Ace. So, but so we got
like
Rich
Dalton.
Love saying, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Musically, I like it. Lyrically, not
And it
so
got
much.
a new
Little Below the Angels, where he talks about like, yeah,
Hey.
the most beautiful thing. Ah.
yeah.
It's pretty cringy in the middle part. Yeah.
And when he talks to his daughter and she uses like a little kid voice.
You ever seen an angel, Daddy? Yeah. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a clip. It's like he's reading a book.
And then
we're
all
gonna go to
Kiss fans
sleep,
were
too.
like, "What have I done with my life?"
Yes.
Sadly, no. That should have been the moment, but we've learned now.
Yeah, we kept buying those meet and greets, didn't we?
All right. Well, oh, did I do that wrong? Yeah, no, that's
Bananas
right.
in the tailpipe. You got that right.
So now, I'm sorry, I said it wrong earlier, but yeah, now you have your number 6 pick. That is going to be going up against Peter Criss's 78 solo record.
I'm not sure if anybody can follow at home though, because now I am on the left and Aaron is on the right, and this completely just changes the whole dynamic of this conversation. And the order.
So Aaron, log out and log back in.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I
no.
don't care.
It wasn't like we were set up in the order of the picks anyway, so.
We were.
Nope.
We were on my screen.
Yeah, on my screen I was. Oh, you must have
Oh,
one of those.
none
other
of mine.
screens.
Maybe it's different for everybody then. Maybe we're not.
God.
Bakko's the
mine
one
goes
doing
me,
the actual
Chris.
work here, so as long as it works for him, then I'm
Yeah, as long as Bakko can keep track, I'm sure it'll
Yeah.
all be all right.
All right, Peter Criss solo album at the 3rd seed. Aaron, what do you got coming up against that as a number 6 seed?
This one gets thrown out there every year. It's not the most terrible album, but man, after waiting so long for it, and then it don't have none of the original guys. It's just Axl and a bunch of other dudes, and it took forever to come out. And you think, damn, for as long as it took, this should be the greatest album of all freaking time. And then you listen to it, and it's like, there's some cool stuff on here, I guess. So I think the letdown goes along with it to carry this one to be a pretty strong contender. Of course, when you're doing a list like this, you got to include Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy.
Yep. If you didn't say it,
How
I was
is this
going
not
to.
one yet?
Yeah, that too. It goes right to that whole thing. Like, there's so much to talk about, right?
I think there's been burnout from rock fans about this record, so that's why it hasn't won.
Yeah, I probably.
I think people are just over the whole thing after all the years of
Oh, I
teasing
mean,
it.
nothing beat Mitch Malloy last year. So, I mean,
Well, Mitch Malloy was like
out of the picture,
like a glove for this show. So.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. With Mitch Malloy out of the way, this year is wide open. It could literally be anybody except Ace Frehley.
Yeah, especially at a 6th seed. Okay, you know what, motherfucker? Ace Frehley is sweeping this goddamn thing. That record's horrible.
I love that Aaron's still making the case for Ace, though. Even this late in the discussions, like, just don't vote for Ace, guys. Come on, there's plenty of bad records here.
That's bananas.
That is, but no, Chinese Democracy. Like, I think you summed it up perfectly. That it's really not a bad record, but there was so much buildup, so many years, so much time, and then you're like, the guitar solo, like this Paul Huge guy. It was like, okay, this is not good guitar playing on this thing. For me, it was like out of nowhere, finally hearing Axl do new music, and his voice, that first song they released was a lot of fun just to hear his screech, and then that You Don't Even Matter. But I like the record, but yeah, it totally belongs on this list.
I wish
No,
he'd
no.
kept Buckethead around a little longer and let him contribute to the album. But
Chicken
I don't
coop
think he
got full of
contributed.
chicken poop.
What about I can't remember if we talked about this because it's never made it. So, but for like Chris and Aaron, like, did you leading up to this here? Were you in the same zone where you'd hear like little demos here and there, like you heard the Blues, like 5 years that ended up being
Yeah.
like Street of Dreams?
There was leaks for years.
And they'd have different names sometimes too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that one was
Yeah.
called the Blues, but I remember hearing like some version of it, and it was the vocals on the demo was much better than the.
Yeah, because he
Final?
overdid everything. He changed everything.
Right.
Like I heard a demo for Catcher in the Rye years before the album came out, and it wound up sounding completely different than with what came out. So it's Axl being his Howard Hughes self and
Right.
perfectionism and wanting to redo everything. So, and that was a big reason Slash and Duff said they didn't want to be in the band anymore because they were just like, the guy can't make his mind up. He
But
just
we're
wants to keep
talking the middle
rehashing.
period of Howard Hughes crazy or the late period?
No,
of
the
Howard
time when
Hughes
he's like,
crazy?
pissing in jars and not leaving the room.
Yeah,
Like that.
Now we're getting back to Buckethead.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Well, Buckethead's weird enough, but you can't deny the talent there.
No, he's great. So
Man.
Puts out 50 albums a year, literally.
my pick.
I feel bad for the one guy that is the completist for Buckethead releases.
God damn it! I got another 40.
It's like I have 3 mortgages because of Buckethead.
Yes.
But I've got all his albums.
Yeah, you might be able to get his whole collection on those shelves.
Perfect. Oh,
If
good
Dee Dee
point.
Ramone rapped on, ooh,
I think so. Oh yes, Sir
Arthur Payson.
How could you forget about Sir Arthur Payson's contribution to this world?
I still wonder if he's a real person.
I think
he is.
I love Better, by the way, Joey. That might be my favorite tune on the record.
I think it's the best song on the record. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the title track.
Yeah, title track's
Yeah, the
alright.
title
Same.
track's good.
Yeah. No, I like it. Look, I hopefully it'll win. I'll get more into it then.
But I think that an Onion article summarized it best. Like the headline was basically something along the lines of, Axl gets back at bandmates by forcing them to play Chinese Democracy songs live, because he does on his tour. He still plays 3 or 4 songs off that album and has Duff and Slash play them. I mean, they gotta be like, what the fuck, man? Seriously?
Whatever.
Eh.
You play the hits.
Oh, that's right, the hits. Best Buy, they got fucked on that deal too.
Yeah, you know what? I recently found a sealed copy of the vinyl at a record store, and I talked to the owner because I bought my vinyl copy for $1.99 when Best Buy was like, "Fuck it, I guess let's just get what we can." And I remember at the time thinking I should buy 10 of these, but I didn't.
Because the last time I went to Best Buy was that record.
It was going for about $120. I don't know if he's going to get that, but if I could get $30 a copy, you know what I mean? So, moving on. All right. For number 6 for me in the Bakko region, I'm going up against Nitro Out Fucking Rageous, or OFR as it's properly called. I'm going to pick one that I believe I put this in the tournament every year, and this is my Hollywood Joey Haney. God damn, that White Tiger record is so fucking bad. So this is the year. Maybe this will knock off Ace Frehley for you, Aaron, but get a little Kiss guitar player to Kiss guitar player. White Tiger's self-titled debut. It's the first thing that Mark St. John did after Kiss, and it is god-awful. Dave Donato on vocals. Anyway.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, when I see Kiss fans share this, I really enjoy it. This is why I don't like you. This is why we don't relate, because you actually listened to this and said, "It's not too bad." You probably like Gene Simmons' asshole, too.
Well, hey. I said earlier I liked it. What the fuck? I don't like this record.
All right. Anyway, yeah, White Tiger. Every year it gets.
Now,
I think it's done okay, but
now the Mark St. John Magic Bullet Theory album, that's a good album.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's all instrumental. I'm just kidding. It's great playing, but that's all it is. There's no songs there.
No, I've publicly been on board with. I really kind of would have liked to have heard one more record with him before they called it quits.
Did you ever hear the demos that he did with the band he had with Peter Criss for a year?
Balls of Fire?
No,
Keep.
Balls of Fire had a female singer. It was a band called The Keep.
Oh,
And
right.
It was David Donato from White Tiger and Mark St. John with Peter Criss on drums.
I have not heard that. No.
There's some okay-ish demos, but that's the most praise I can give it. But it's some of the stronger stuff from Peter during that era.
Wrote it down. I'm gonna check it out.
But White Tiger, terrible,
Anyway.
generic as hell.
All right, LC, you're going up against Mr. Big 10. Your 3 seed. What's going to be the 6 seed going against that record? Oh wait, no, CC, not LC. I misread my own writing. My C looks like an L.
Okay, so I'm going up against Mr. Big.
Yes.
Let's go. This is one, I don't know if this has ever been brought up into the March Badness tournament, but my memory's terrible, so it probably has. But I want to pick a big album. This album actually sold a lot, but it damaged the band permanently, and there's a reason that the main guy behind this record is not in the band anymore, and that is the band Styx, and the album is Kilroy was here.
Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
Throwing him in the mix.
Well, just the whole record is so it's a goofy, adventurous concept record, and it's their version of The Elder, basically. And I
No more arigato.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, don't like it.
No do arigato. How do you combine that with like no mas domo arigato is like
Do I look Japanese to you? I don't.
Spanish and Japanese.
Hasta la vista, Mr. Roboto.
I'm butchering languages all across the continent.
International conspiracy here.
The globe.
Yeah, okay.
So
Isn't that the one where they had like a tour with a bunch of robots and stuff
Yes.
on
Yeah.
stage? Or like
Yes, they actually did a tour with the whole show, and
Like it was very theater. Like,
I'm jealous of anyone who got to witness that in person, just
Okay.
because it must have been a real shit show.
man.
White Tiger cassette. There is a White Tiger cassette.
I first heard it on cassette.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
My
that.
CD is not even a real CD. It's like a CDR back in the early
Well, that's what I'm
days.
saying. Like, was it actually officially released on our label?
I think it was recently though.
Oh, okay. It's like because back then I don't think it was. I think they were an unsigned band back then.
I don't have a CD of it. I've never found one, but I've got a cassette tape.
I do
I just-
love the band name. White Tiger is a cool metal band name.
Why?
But I don't know. I like it. Better than White Lion.
It's got a color and an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah, White
color,
Snake,
animal,
White Lion, and White Tiger. Like
White
it makes
snake.
sense.
White. What was it? He has.
There was
some
no
combo
white
version.
giraffe or white zebra or
That's true. Well, there's no, it's a white black zebra.
yeah, I guess it would just be a zebra, right?
Yeah, or just a zebra. Yeah, white. It's just redundant.
Those of you watch, I hope you're enjoying this. Cause
Yes, yes. And by the way, I hope that when he finds his White Tiger CD, everything comes collapsing down. That was holding everything up.
Of course, you hope that.
I think it's in a Kiss tub somewhere.
That's what I thought. Down in the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. All right, who's next?
I'm up.
We got LC back to back. So you're going up against Led Zeppelin Presence, your number 3 seed. So who is number 6
Well,
going up
wasted
against
pick.
that? So
Presents by Led Zeppelin. Really?
I'm picking the underdog in this matchup, Sinzak.
Me too.
I don't even know who it is.
Okay. Well, we can't. We at least have the rule that we can't say the same band twice in the. Can we at least have that?
No,
There's
pick
no
whatever
rule.
you want. That's the rule.
Well, then I can't say this one as far as that. All right, forget it. Well, you know, yeah, you already said I'm going to use that rule because I'm not going to. There's 2 that I'm not going to pick a week. Well, anyway,
You can pick the same band more than once. There's no rule. I'm not limiting you. You are.
I'm giving myself the rule because I think it's too much.
That's called picking what you want. There you go.
No,
Joey Haney's funny.
You're only censored by yourself.
Yeah, you're censoring yourself, man.
I'm censoring myself. That's fine. Well, it hasn't been.
I'm just reading
Picked.
Joey Haney's comments. That's
Hasn't been picked, and I'm telling you again, this is also one of these mysteries that we are 4 years into this, and this hasn't got. I think it maybe got to the final 4. I don't think it's made it that far, but
We are 6 years into this. We took a year off from the bracket, and then I think there's 1+ year. Anyway, whatever. I'm actually diluting your point. Sorry.
not really. I mean, you know what? Since everybody thinks that, oh, why? How could you? How dare you bring Led Zeppelin presence into this tournament? How dare Achilles' Last Stand?
That was
Oh,
nothing like
these
it.
are just
Although Achilles' Last Stand's like one of my favorite Zeppelin songs.
this barn burner songs. You know what? Fine. I am going to knock it out with what will definitely not. So presence will not be picked, so you don't have to see it. You don't have to see it just floating around there bothering you, okay? And it is an album that I still remember being so amped up for this fucking album. And just the backstory of who recorded it with the band, and then they re-recorded the vocals, and they did this and did that from a band that I was just, it's like, yes, they're back together. It's going to be great. And I can do 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes, on just one song on this album that closes it out. And that is Generation Swine. Brandon, I will tell you, I will bring in a whole thesis to the table. We will do a dramatic reading of this. Whatever it needs to be done.
Dramatic reading of Brandon.
Of Brandon, yes.
I'm already calling it Swine advances from round 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
over Zeppelin's presence, yeah.
yes,
This has been a regular on the show or on the tournament every year. So
that has never not been mentioned.
That's another one. How is that one not won already?
yeah, you're right, man. It's but you get your Mitch Malloys in there, and it's just like it's too much. It's too much.
This is the year it could come down to Hollyweird, Chinese Democracy, Generation Swine, and I mean, there's some in here that are just
10,000 volts.
Speedball Jam.
Speedball
pick
Jam.
Vinny over Ace.
By the way, I also had Deep Purple Bananas down.
Did you really?
Yeah, so did I. Yeah.
yeah.
Just the album cover alone. You know what? I'll tell you what. What about that random dude that's sitting on top of those bananas? That motherfucker should come with some heat, just like the Naked Baby on the Nirvana cover. Get his residual. Did he ask to get pictured and put on a Deep Purple album? Fuck no. He's just going about his day sitting in a big bunch of bananas.
We should try to find that guy and see if we can get him to come to Rockin' Pod.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
I tell you what.
A ton of tickets, right?
That guy, we should. I guarantee there's a Deep Purple podcast that's interviewed that guy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh yeah.
If there's a Deep Purple podcast, I'm guessing they've already gotten to it.
Yeah. That's the bottom of the barrel of bananas.
My man.
All right, here we go. Damn.
You're back. So this is going up against CCR Mardi Gras. So that was your number 2 seed. So this is your number 7 seed.
Yeah. You know, when you do this, sometimes you're just like, this year I'm going to bring something different to the table, etc. But then you just had to go to there's some that are just so ripe, prime. They're just there. Ugh! You just need them to be in the mix. So
Joey Haney, Generation Swine Defender.
He's the one.
He's the one. I'm telling you, that's just
songs on there. I don't hate it.
You can,
Ace
He wants to
covering
hear,
Brandon.
Rich Love wants to hear Ace do Brandon. Brandon, I love you.
She's your mom.
yeah, you're the most beautiful thing.
Origins 3. I'm sorry, but I've heard an interview where he lectured somebody who may or may not be sitting next to me about the qualifications of the Origins covers records, and they have to be songs that inspired him. In other words, they have to be before he was, the most inspirational guitar player.
Rock and Roll Hell from Creatures of the Night. Yeah.
Yeah, that really inspired me.
Yeah, it really inspired him growing up.
Yeah, I don't remember you hitting him back with that obvious point, journalist.
Oh, well, I'm a fanboy. Who said I was a journalist?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
I mean, I told him, you're Ace Frehley. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, I'm not gonna say
Yeah,
what to do. We definitely tried to make our case. I still want him to cover that Billy Joel song that Aaron suggested.
Yeah.
I stand by it. That and the Tom Snyder interview are easily the 2 greatest Ace Frehley interviews ever.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't get.
That's high praise.
Nobody should give you any shit. We're not asking hard-hitting questions. The fact is, you had him so
talking to
relaxed. You had Ace so relaxed that
Dude.
the first 5 minutes of him talking
Cancer clusters.
crazy shit.
Look at Zillow.
I had a full list. We had a full list of like really good in-depth questions, and
You're
then
like-
after we got through like 3 questions, we're like, nah, because his memory is not good.
All Brad Delp covers.
Well,
Origins
and
Volume
that was-
3.
That was the funny thing too, because Chris presented me with his list of questions.
He's like, "It'll never
We
work."
interview him, and I said, "There ain't no way he's gonna answer or remember any of this shit. I'll give it
No.
a try, but I don't think so." And
No.
and then we pivoted pretty quick. It's like,
And we've learned over the years the last people to ask in-depth Kiss questions are the members of Kiss, because they don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
And if you watch Billy Corgan's recent interview with Gene Simmons, he doesn't remember much either.
Yeah. Coming soon to a future episode of Cobras and Fire.
I'm excited to hear you guys talk about it. But
I was in full. Thanks for tipping me off. I don't think
I'm happy to help.
It.
It's
I think you would have, because I was the same way. I heard about it, and then like 3 days later, like everybody, including my boy Joey Haney, was like, "Have you listened to this yet?"
I saw it within an hour of its release. I don't know how I got lucky with the algorithm, but it had just popped up when I watched it, and then I told LC, I'm like, "You need to watch this." But it's like there's nothing groundbreaking that comes from it, but it's the best attempt at getting real answers out of him from any interview I've ever seen.
Speaking of nothing groundbreaking, LC, what do you got for going up against CCR Mardi Gras?
That's a great segue.
I like it.
It's kind of mean.
Let me tell you what I've said many times.
It's March
before.
Badness. It's not a shot at him. It's about what we're doing. Yeah.
No, it's a shot at me. It's a subtle one. It's there. It's okay. So, again, another band where this is the Doctor. I will tell you that much is that I have gone back to this one. Not in recent time, but man, years and years after that, I'm like, it's got to be something there. It's got to be something there. It can't be just that base level bullshit. And how did this happen? And I'm like, nope. Prince of Darkness is the only good fucking song on this album, and that is Megadeth Risk. You got to have it. It has so much history. You could talk about Megadeth. You could do all this stuff. And then you just talk about how can this be? How can there be a song about people waiting in line for bread? Fucking bread. We're talking about bread here? Fucking call me gluten-free. Fuck this album. There's nothing.
Have you seen the price of eggs lately?
I don't
Coming
care.
soon to America.
Breadline?
I'm just saying it might be more relatable in about 6
I
weeks.
need Mustaine to talk about bread? To sing about bread?
Well, I mean,
It might hit home when you're in the bread line.
I don't care.
Hetfield already did it with Bread Fan, so he had to do it with Bread Line.
God, that's another. I can't get into
Just
any
copying
song
fucking
bread.
Hetfield every
No.
step along the way. Risk, but like that's another one. That's a staple of March Madness that never wins, but probably should.
Never should.
And it's funny, all four of us have we're going to push those down a little bit.
Well,
And maybe it'll help them out. They'll be like upseeding new seeds. So
we'll see. And I'll say one last thing about it is that he remixed that album and it still didn't help. And here's the other part is he even replaced the album. He remixed it and replaced the album cover and put the logo back on it. And a rat, like I think the rat is running away inside its hole or something like that. I forget what it is, but it still didn't. Who remixes an album and replaces the album cover?
Dave Mustaine.
Something that sucks.
Risk is overdue.
It is.
Agree.
That's a fabulous 7th seed. Has a great shot of running the table. All
But
right,
it's not one of
CC.
my picks, so don't pick it.
You got Vinnie Vincent Speedball Jam at number 2. What's going to knock it off?
Oh man. Well, it's more palatable to listen to, but it's still not good. All right. One of probably my favorite artists at the moment, but my least favorite album by him during his solo years, and I'm talking about Alice Cooper, Along Came a Spider. Concept record that is great in theory, but then you listen to the execution and the songs, and you're like, it's just not. It's kind of forgettable. It does nothing on this record sticks in your brain at all.
Zero.
Yeah. Big letdown. Don't like this one.
Yep.
I don't hate it.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Oh man.
I think there's other Alice Cooper albums that are worse.
What do you? Well, I mean, Pretty's for you. I used that last year.
Yeah,
But I didn't want to use it this year.
But I put Special Forces above that, or at
Get the
least
fuck out. Special Forces.
there's only
One
one
of his best records.
Get the fuck out!
No,
I love that era, man.
I wish.
You know, I think all four of us should be homeless in the corner yelling at each other right now. Like just Special Forces, get the fuck out of here!
Hey, early '80s Alice.
That has
one of the.
that's got. She looks good on rags.
Yeah, that's the only good
Fuck
song.
you.
Early '80s Alice is very polarizing. You know, it's either you love it or you don't.
Yeah.
You got one.
Joey's on my
You got
side.
one backer
Oh, yeah.
here.
No, I agree. It's the one that I think Joey has told me that he has the entire discography and more. He he's sold it back or something like that. That's the only one he
I
doesn't
think
have.
I think Zipper Catches Skin is worse than Special Forces. I like Special Forces better.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll take special. I think
Monk-
Special Forces is
Monk-
probably right like next.
Zipper's more of a new wave record. I don't like the new wave
Not
stuff.
a fan of Brutal Planet either.
See, that's the thing.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like some. Do you like the title track, Brutal Planet? Is that one okay?
Yeah, I just think it's not. I think this one is better than that.
Like Dragon Town
No,
better than
not at all.
Brutal?
No, not really. I'm not a big
I don't
fan
like
of
this one.
Dragon Town either.
Yeah. Okay.
Dragon Town I like a lot. See, but we're all different. So.
Let's do March Badness with just Alice Cooper records.
Yep.
What do you think?
Oh, you could do it with his stuff, because it's very polarizing.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
We're extremely different. I'm a white guy in Minnesota. He's a white guy in Colorado. You're
Right.
a white guy,
Yeah.
and you guys. Well, you're both in Tennessee.
Picking up your sarcasm.
Mhm.
I can see a diversity here. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Many shades of white.
Oh God.
All right, Long Came a Spider. It's not Zeppelin's Presence, but yeah, it
Yeah,
seems to be
exactly.
polarizing.
All right, well that brings it to me. So I have Poison Hollyweird at my number 2 seed. I really wanted. There's so many records that I still have left, and I only got 2 picks. So
You can't say them.
this record, don't worry, I'm not going to,
Them's the
because I'm not a fucking psychopath.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're so butthurt.
Be careful.
Well, I can't list off all the records you guys are gonna pick at the second pick of the thing.
Put Chickless. Go get Michael Chickless. Put it on the screen.
Oh man.
See? Don't you dare say any of your also rams. This here's Michael Chickless
That's the new singer for CCR.
from the Shield.
That, yeah.
Oh God. All right.
Hurt my ribs.
This record really has to be on the list, and it's a record that I've stolen from Sinzak's previous years. I don't remember if he did it once or more than once, but Iron Maiden Virtual X. I want to hear this album.
What was it again?
Iron Maiden Virtual X.
Oh man, I've
Blaze
Blaze Bailey.
okay. So Demolition is better than that one. If you're gonna
I think
compare
so.
I had Demolition on the list too, and I'm more familiar with that one. I probably should have picked that one, but
Oh,
I really want this one to be on there. It's got
Oh,
Blaze
yes.
Bailey from Wolfsbane.
yeah. If you are a Wolfsbane fan, you'll love that.
You gotta
So all
say,
6
see,
of you
you
will
did it
have
the
a
right
good time
way.
with this album.
Yes, you've trained me well. Yeah, that was for
say
you,
Blaze
LC.
Bailey, you got to give us credits. Formerly of Wolfsbane, Blaze Bailey.
So that is that's my matchup there on the 7-2 feed. Poison Hollyweird versus Iron Maiden Virtual X. So
Sorry.
so you got a couple back-to-backs here, Aaron. Your first one goes up against the Doors, the Full Circle, and your second one goes up against Pantera, Metal Magic.
Oh, so you do have picks after me.
I told you, yes.
Yeah, shit. I don't know if you're going to do it. I had like a retaliatory thing, but I was waiting to see if you were going to try to pick a damn Bruce Willis album again. It was like,
It's only one.
if
Oh,
he
is there more than one?
I was
If
gonna
he-
say.
gets to that level again, I will unleash this pick, but now I don't know if I'm going to or not. Like, I had a pick that would.
Yes, yes, Joey. To
Joey.
Joey.
Mm,
Joey's, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to assume that you're going to try to push that Bruno thing again.
Oh, nice.
So this is low down and dirty. Low down and dirty pick because you did that last year. And I don't think it fit the criteria. So I don't know if this does either, but I'm going to try. It's got to be better than a stupid Lou Reed thing. It's got to be more suitable for this than a Dee Dee Ramone rap album.
DDK.
I'm feeling this. Jeez.
All right. So this
Two
is
shots at me.
This is my low down dirty pick. You guys are going to fucking hate me for this. I hate myself for doing this. This album is called Songs of Innocence. It's by a band called U2.
Yeah, the one we had no choice but to receive.
it's not Actung Baby this year.
No, it's the one that Apple made you have on your iTunes.
Is that what this
Oh,
is?
that's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
Oh, man.
I think it was that one. That's the one we all had to delete, wasn't it?
No, that's a different one.
That's when
It's
YouTube
Because I almost
decided.
picked this album, and I thought that was the reason why I almost picked
No,
it.
I think that
Guys,
was
do me a solid and riff just for a minute before Aaron's next.
okay. So the band considered Songs of Innocence to be their most personal album.
It's Songs of Innocence. Apple gave it away on September 9th, 2014 for
That's
free.
the
to all
one
iTunes
that showed
users.
up on your iPhone, whether you wanted it or not.
Yes.
All right. It deals
God.
with themes of childhood and loss.
Mm.
I like its chances. You too, Songs of Innocence.
It certainly
is-
pissed off enough people.
Yeah,
so
man,
it might actually get enough votes because a lot of us were. I actually like some U2, but I
So
just
do I.
was irritated of why do I have to have this record by default? That's fucked up.
I
That
don't-
was
I don't
the
really
most.
like you at all.
What year was that? Was it 09?
2014.
That's how. Man, it seems like it was longer ago than that. But okay, that was a. Somebody
go.
even made the analysis that U2 in one move rendered music worthless. Is what it said. Like, because they didn't sell it, they gave it away for free, and it's a huge band saying like, music has no value. We're just going to put it on your phone. It's the first album that was spam.
It really
about that?
was.
But what if the plan was actually the opposite of that, and they were trying to show the world that nothing good is free?
Well, they showed us that.
I think that was that good point.
Mission accomplished.
Backfired.
But was that even like almost like a promo for a tour they had coming up too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the point of giving here's the free album, see us on tour?
I
didn't
think
remember
it
that
was-
they touring for it.
If I'm remembering right, it was so they would release it exclusively through iTunes. That was the
Right.
deal. Since they did it exclusively through them, then iTunes would automatically put it on every one of their subscribers' list.
So I think maybe
Actually,
didn't-
Apple took more heat than YouTube did for it.
yeah, but I think that also so that one never even got a physical release. That was like a digital only.
Oh, I'm sure it did. But
Maybe it did.
Probably.
I mean,
backfired.
initially it was just all on Apple.
That's a good one because it brought up a lot of anger from me.
Good.
I'll
So
say it might
that-
win because of how pissed off people still are to this day
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
I hadn't planned that, but I like it.
Mhm.
You know, it was at the height too of like people downloading music illegally. Sorry, Gene Simmons, it's not happening that much anymore. So you would almost think it's kind of weird that the backlash is like, whoa, I didn't want this free music. So yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since it's garbage.
Well, yeah, it's not.
Well,
a good
that's a
album.
different topic, but
That's the real story.
Boring, super boring. That's what I remember. Like delete. I like to see the one guy that still has it on their player.
The last U2 album that I bought willingly was How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb, and then that one wasn't very good either.
still Octung Baby for me, first and lonely.
You're probably better off. Yeah, I was watching the old video from the last time when Aaron picked Octung Baby and how surprised we all were at the time.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
That
Good
was
stuff,
fun to
though.
Go back
It's like
and
my
revisit.
strategy is to take beloved albums. You know,
That's what it was. It was like all these
think that's what it
sacred
was,
cows.
right?
I was like, what are you gonna pick? Sergeant Pepper
Yeah.
next? What the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
That was fun.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do? Pick Led Zeppelin Presence or something?
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. How you gonna do
Yeah.
that?
What was that?
Sacred cow, that record.
Yeah. How dare you? That album has T for one.
Yeah,
Speaking of T for one.
Jesus Christ.
And then I got one more final one to go up against Pantera, eh?
Yeah.
Huh.
Is that a tip? You're gonna go Canadian here?
No, I don't think there are any bad Canadian albums, are there?
Whoa, Wally Gator, hold up there. Yeah. Have you heard it? What about some Coney Hatch?
It's a pickaxe.
Like
Hey,
You've heard of Helix, right?
is this you guys counting up or down to March Badness?
Count it up, eh?
There's no bad Killer Dwarfs albums. I'll say
No,
that.
no.
true? Yeah.
Oh, easy now. No good ones either.
I don't know. Got so many here to choose from. A lot of
There's a
ones
lot left.
years. I've got a couple of ones that I added this year. I guess I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna throw it out there again. I don't think it's a terrible album, but by WASP standards, it really wasn't what I was looking for at the time when they came out with KFD, Kill Fuck Die. It's just a Marilyn Manson ripoff.
It is very trendy.
It's sweet though.
It's, I mean, there's some cool stuff on there, but man, that's not what you want when you buy a Wasp album.
It's my favorite era of Wasp. If you when Blackie's like wearing like the sequel or the basically a silk stocking T-shirt and like has like weird like eyeliner Alice Cooper eyes and stuff. So
yeah, they were cool, but
that was when he was his most authentic. Was during this period.
I don't think so, because I mean, it would be like not.
I don't know if that's right, man.
Well,
I'm with Joey here. This is an 8 seed going to round 2, man.
Wow.
Oh, you really think that's going to be? Well, yeah. I guess I would pick it over Metal Magic. I guess Metal Magic has better songs than. Yeah, Kill Fuck Die is not.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I would rather listen to Kill Fuck Die. Than,
Would you?
yeah.
I don't know if I
Same,
would.
same here. But I'm just reading the room.
Yeah. My favorite era of Wasp is the era where people pay for a meet and greet for a paternity test.
That's current Wasp. That is right now.
Okay, yeah.
I
that's
got
my favorite
that
era.
reference. That was a weird video, wasn't it?
Sure was.
Do you recognize this woman? We told you before. You're not supposed to ask him that question.
You know, I just want to say, you ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody here is happy about what you did.
I would
And
listen
yes,
to
I
a
played
Black Lawless
Elmore.
podcast for sure, though, because I think it would be entertaining.
You know, I think one episode, yes. I think two. I think it really just become like a Gene Simmons podcast where it's like,
Boy,
so we had this meet and greet, and Ace really was drunk.
well, you kind of
And
realize
I've never drank and done drugs, and
I
gymnasium
wrong?
is a big word.
Yeah,
And
like how is
Sharon did a great job of raising my kids. I drove a taxi, and it was a teacher. Oh, and I'm confusing two things anyway.
What's going on? I was like, what?
Ace and Paul were the taxi drivers. Gene was the.
Okay.
You know, I used comic books because they would read them. I got fired for that for some reason. Apparently, Spider-Man 23 wasn't part of the curriculum.
Yeah, I think the name of the podcast is Sound Bites All in a Row.
Yeah, basically. Bumper sticker logic.
All right.
Okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm out.
all right. Kill, fuck, die.
All right, so this is my 8th pick now. My 8 going up against the number 1 was my only planned bit for this whole thing. And it really required nobody else to pick, obviously, what I'm about to pick. And this is going to make Aaron Camaro lose his goddamn mind. Ace Frehley's Second Sighting.
That one's come up
Weak.
before.
That guy, you already have an ace. You have 2 ace picks?
I have Ace against Ace, you idiot.
He can only
Okay.
beat himself once.
That was my whole
Sorry.
point. I was like, this is like, I wanted to like, I want Ace Frehley's 2 worst records up against each other.
So you're saying Ace would be the loser in a fight?
Oh, man, I love that.
Yeah, not a great album. Definitely not by Ace Frehley standards.
Back to school.
Pretty good by Todd Howard standards, though.
That's a good song.
Yeah, I mean, 'cause we talked to John Regan about that, and he was like, basically, me and Todd Howarth wrote that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody else.
It
wanted to
shows,
come
too.
show up
It
and
shows,
work
yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it's hardly any Ace Frehley on there.
Well,
Other-
Todd Howarth might be the only person on the planet that would actually take credit for that record.
Yeah, probably. Insane is a good song. That's about it.
it's cool. I like Juvenile Delinquent. I like The Acorn is Spinning.
I was gonna talk about the Acorn Spinning.
That's
That was
pretty.
okay.
Anyway, that's a nice
All right.
matchup, though. Ace versus Ace.
I think Ace is gonna win.
Yeah, yes. If you just gotta put Ace Frehley into the second round. How can I find a way to do that? But at least you didn't pick Bruce Willis, so I give you all the credit in the world for that.
All right.
Bruce Willis has been through enough lately.
I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize the Bruce Willis pick upset you so much last year.
Yeah.
But
It's been bothering me because it's like It's like I just imagine that like there was like a young Bakko when he was a kid listening to that on LP when it first came out, you know, and watching his moonlighting TV shows and things.
Yeah.
And
I had to
going,
watch that show with my mom. It sucked.
if there was ever any way that I could like sit down and really give this album a true discussion, that, you know, if there was just some way, and then all them years later, he discovers podcasting, he goes, finally. And then he meets Loose Cannon and it's like, oh, we love rock and roll. Let's do a podcast together.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh man, this is great. But you know, how am I ever going to get to talk about that Bruce Willis album? unless I create this thing called March Badness.
That'd be funny if the whole reason
Get,
for this show was the Bruce Willis
like,
album.
the whole thing, the Cobras and Fighters, March Badness.
You know what? You're spot on.
You still lost.
I'm a big fan of the long con.
Oh man.
So I even saw the Mitch Malloy coming in.
Yeah.
I was like, so I have to be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Ruined everything for you. I'm so sorry.
You know what, Aaron? You never disappoint.
Yeah.
Why I think you're one of the most precious human beings on the planet. You are an American treasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The return to Bruno Long Con theory.
That would be one hell of a long con.
Yeah.
Since I was 12 years old.
Nobody would agree to talk about it, much less record it.
That's what they said about the album, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
Well, you're Bruce Willis and you're famous, so let's do that.
Finally. I like it.
Paul Stanley's in the documentary for that album. I don't know if-
Yeah, it's amazing. I think it's called the mockumentary, Chris.
Yeah, you're correct. Very Christopher Guest. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
We are officially
Speaking of
off the
Chris.
rails. Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, you have Dee
D.D. King.
King going up against what? Yeah,
Well,
so-
just because I'm like, I went ahead and rolled with it, so I might as well try to back it and pick something. I'll pick something new that hasn't been picked before that's in the last year. And this album was a huge disappointment. Not that I was expecting great things out of this, because the track record's a little iffy on this band anyway. But the album that came out in 2023 called Babylon by Lynch Mob. Not a fan of this record. I had higher hopes for it, and tried to go back and listen to it today. Just like, do I really not like this one as much as I do? I'm like, yep, I don't like this one. So I'll put that up there, but there's no way that it's going to lose. But yeah, Lynch Mob, Babylon.
Okay.
So let it be known, I picked something negative about Frontiers Records, just so you guys.
No.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I get you. You're not Stephen Michael here.
Yeah, come on.
Even Michael adjacent though, so I get.
Was this the last record with Oni? I don't know if you covered that while you were doing that. I was trying
No,
to...
it's a guy named Gabriel Cologne that sings on.
Oh, this is the
He's
new
the
record.
new guy. And
Okay.
I don't like his vocals. I've seen live clips of him, and he sounds great, but this album is produced horribly. It sounds terrible.
I agree with that. I like the lead single. I haven't heard anything else.
It's not
When
good.
I think of Bad Lynch Mob, my mind immediately goes to the new metal album.
Yeah. That was on my list. So
I cut
Year one.
Smoke This, was that what it was, or
Yeah.
smoke
yeah,
this.
I picked that last time. I didn't want to double it, so I tried to pick some new stuff. So, but I also wanted to lose. So D.D. King will go on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys review a D.D. Ramone rap album. That would be.
I'm looking forward to it already. So like, and classic Sinzak fashion. Like, although Aaron, you've done a great job today too, but more undermining my picks than it was promoting yours. But yeah, Sinzak is like, this is why you guys want to do this, and you do a great job of selling it. And this is why LC and I are always the two losers. So.
Yeah.
Well, you guys get stuck having to talk about this shit. So
That's
that's you're the loser in the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
might be the guy. We actually care.
I care about the entertainment value of the episode.
Yeah, fair enough. I actually don't try to win. I don't know about LC, but I'm guessing he's the same. I really don't give a shit. I like this for the interaction with the listener, and that they
Correct.
get to decide what we
Yes.
talk about.
And that's a forced
But-
interaction.
Never have one say.
And frankly, LC and I are better hosts if we don't win. So
That is true. We're very angry then.
Yeah, good.
It's better
Speaking of
to
which,
have to.
Go ahead.
It's better to review the album under duress than by volunteering.
I think so.
I think so very much.
Yeah.
So apparently now I've just agreed to tell the listeners to not vote for our records about that.
Yeah, don't vote for their records. Vote.
I
for
do have to
Aaron.
say that the first year when it was Peter Criss All for One, I had to force myself to sit down and listen to that one like twice. I remember being like, and I remember I called Bakko. I go, I don't think there's anything here. This thing is just
Oh, there's
boring.
not.
There's nothing here to do. And somehow the episode was fine. But I was like, I don't know what we can say about this thing.
It always works out.
Yeah.
But anyway, LC, you have the final pick. This is going to be going up against David LaRosse, Skyscraper. And if I didn't say it earlier, I think it's a magnificent pick. God, that was rough.
Got as
Okay.
good a chance as any of them.
Well, at this point, I can say whatever the fuck I want because it's the last pick, right?
Yeah, give us all your also rant.
Here's
No,
ones that I did not pick.
no. Just pick the goddamn record. You have to leave. You have things you got to do.
Yeah, you're
Just
right.
pick-
You're right. Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. So, well, I'll pick one that hasn't been done before then, and I also want Skyscraper to advance. So, but this was a terrible album, and it had a message not so subtle right in the cover. It was guy's fist coming towards you.
I don't know what this is.
Had a
Same.
little, you know,
It's a good
whatever you
pick.
call that, the little brass
Geoff's
knuckles.
Tate.
Some brass knuckles, and I think the touring version of this band had Bobby Blotzer on drums, or some
No.
shit, some random thing like that.
Wasn't Bobby. No.
And it wasn't
Oh,
Blotzer.
Brian Tishy. I saw them live.
Wow, on this tour. Okay,
Yeah, I did.
This album title was called Frequency Unknown, also known as the FU album by Queensryche, but it also should have been called, much like Music to Crash Your Car to, or Plane to, whatever it is lately, with Motley Crue. It should have been called Music to Get Spit On to, based on the dynamics in the band at the time.
And I think we
Queensryche.
have the first recorded time that LC said Queensryche properly.
Oh, did I?
How do you usually say?
Queensryche.
Queensryche, he always says.
Shrike. Put an H in there.
Queensryche.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, if there was a spelling bee, that's when I just say, fuck it, I'm out.
No, I saw them. I don't know if it was on this tour, but I saw this lineup of Jeff Tate's Queensryche, and it was
Wow.
Brian Tishy, and Kelly Gray, and Rudy Sarzo on bass, and
Something weird.
Yes.
Sass Jordan on backing vocals. It was interesting.
And I'm going to tell you, LC, if you wanted to make sure Skyscraper won, I don't know that this was the right record to put against it.
Yeah, 'cause
I
this is
think
pretty
this
awful.
might be a sneaker.
Okay.
Is
And I
this
just love that Jeff Tate put out an album with his fist and an F
FU.
on it. Like it's like
Frequency Unknown.
so childish.
Oh, God, I love how poetically petty he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
so
Although
that's
Scott Rockenfeld, he's pretty
Nice.
odd himself.
But when Jeff Tate explained, like, on that metal show, like, why he spit on the drummer, and it was just like, he didn't actually say he did it, but he was like, well, traditionally, the act of spitting on someone is a sign of disrespect, and I think that was the intended message.
Yes.
I'm like,
He could've
so
just said
yes, you said yes, you did.
Yeah. Anyway.
same as same. Fuck yeah, I did.
All right, guys. Another good year.
Thank you, everybody who tuned in and commented. Well, the bracket will be up soon enough, and the polls will be up, like I said, at the beginning of March. So, same old shit, same old thing. Just let us know if you can't find how to cheat the system. But anyway, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Check it out, loose cannon. Before we get off here, look what I got in the mail.
Oh, nice. Good timing.
Heck
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. I got yours on the way, too. If you